Yo, what time is it? It's Valentine's. I don't actually give a crap about Valentine's Day, but I was like, what an appropriate thing to stream on Valentine's. This adorable fucking polycule. Why does the sound so low? Oh, my headphones are turned way down. My bad. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so last time I stopped at I remembered that this is a really important part. So I was like, oh, no, I need to put a pin in. This is not something I need to get into at the end of stream. And I have no idea how much longer I actually have in this. I think I'm a little more than halfway, or maybe halfway. I don't know. Because at first I was like, maybe I'll finish this tonight. And then I was like, ooh, I don't actually know about that. Especially because I keep starting super late. But anyways, okay, yes. So, fuck, what was it? We all took a bath. It was very sexually charged. Seb tried to make us confess our feelings for one another. We got interrupted by a lovely couple. I think they're still here, actually. They're just, like, in a changing room somewhere. And now... Oh, yeah, okay. So we're getting kind of into processing what happened with Eka, because we just kind of, like, rolled with that. Or, like, I mean, it's become apparent that Hatter doesn't really maybe know Aina like he thought he did. We're just kind of addressing that now. So here we go. Adder took a long look at Aina, who was just looking at them from the steps, clearly unbothered by the apparent murder attempt. Oh yeah, that's right. Sepp, like, pulled us into the bath to have, like, a psychic conversation with us. He heaved a real sigh this time.
Boss, you know I love you, right?
Aina's blush shone bright under her white hair. She nodded quickly, with her head low.
I'm told I'm real darn fond of secrets for how much I talk. Thing is, I've been thinking a lot about what love is these last few moons. No, that ain't quite right. I've been thinking about what it means to love someone. What it means to me, anyway.
It's so interesting seeing this side of Adder, too, because he doesn't really seem like the introspective type, but he clearly has some more going on that he just doesn't talk about.
I always thought loving meant caring. Wanting someone special to be well all the time. To be that perfect little shine in your eyes. Because I thought loving meant seeing only the good parts of the one you love.
Oh, wrong.
Defending them, even from your own thoughts.
That's, like, not the way to go. Seeing only the good parts. You gotta see all of it.
Sepp here made me realize that when you live pretending someone's perfect and everything's fine in the world because you're together, you're not looking at what's in front of you. You're loving a whole other person you made up in your own head.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Adder, look at you. Growth, we love to see it. Adder took a deep breath. Sepp sent a concerned look in his direction, but he shrugged it off.
I'm sorry, boss. I've really tried my best to let it be. To make like I couldn't notice when things were out of place. But this whole thing is a lot. It's way too much. It's way, way, way past that. We're all in danger. Or at least, me and Sepp are.
Well... Aina's throat moved with a gulp. The corner of the room stood narrow and suffocating in contrast to how big Adder seemed to be looming over her.
I love you. And I know somewhere down there, you love me too. That's why I think it's time you came clear about some things.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Tread carefully. I guess it's good I have 2 save files, because I'm just like, oh no, I don't want to mess up. Well? Are you a beast?
Are you a beast, Aina?
It's fine if you are. I mean, Ekka's a beast. And, I mean, I love Ekka. Aina furrowed her eyebrows, confused. She shook her head slowly, unsurely.
You don't know either?
She's not quite telling the truth, but it doesn't seem like she's lying.
You think the patron could take such a big chunk of memories out of someone that they forget what they are?
I couldn't even start to guess. She may have never known to begin with.
Sep sounded a little more affected than usual as she trailed off. Oh god, okay, well, Pertok, let's not bring Pertok into this just yet. I don't think. Maybe I could go about it. Is Eka your sister? Well, I feel like... Oh man, it's between 1 and 2, and I don't know. Because, like, why do the beasts admire you is a very interesting question, but I don't know whether or not... You know what? I don't think that she'd be able to communicate that as clearly. Because she probably doesn't even know, and maybe it's best to keep it to, like, simpler answers to at least make clear questions with clear answers. Maybe that's the way to go.
So, I'm gathering you really knew the beasts then. Eka's your sister after all, huh?
Aina shrugged her shoulders until her neck disappeared, and then she nodded.
So, you're a beast too then?
Not necessarily.
Say what? Why are you replying for her now?
Because you're making stupid assumptions about how families work.
Oh, yeah.
Just stick to the facts.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. My bad. Well, then why do the beasts admire you?
Acted like you didn't know them, but it's pretty obvious that just couldn't be. What are you to the beasts, Aina? Why do they admire you so much?
Aina tried to walk back, but she only found the wall behind her. Her lips started to curl.
You won't get anywhere asking questions like that. Remember, mind the envelope more than the letter.
This really ain't the time for riddles, Sip.
Didn't you want to be in charge? Then figure it out, Adderson. I'm not going to sit by and watch you do a shoddy interrogation job.
Okay, well, I guess I was wrong, and I needed to ask if Pertok was still her dad.
So wait, is the patron your paw for real, or...?
Aina nodded, confused. She didn't seem to understand what Adder was getting at.
What in the name of the Hutsa is for real supposed to mean here?
I don't know, maybe she's adopted, or...
And what's that to you?
Yeah, we're kind of losing the plot here, Adder.
Right. Sorry.
Oh. Oh. Okay, This might be a wrong move, but I have a feeling, because there was that scene, and like I'm playing coy like I don't know or whatever, but like, because yeah, I have inside info from reading the script and all that shit, but like, I also don't know. So, and don't remember things. But I do remember in chapter 2 that Illigrab is the one that commissioned Aina to make the armor the beasts were wearing as a disguise. So I have to assume that Aina knew at least something about the attack beforehand.
When we were alone, Eka said you'd asked to get me on board. You wanted me to be part of the crew. So that means you knew they'd be coming, didn't you? What they'd be coming for.
I don't know. This is actually getting a little accusatory. Aina shut her eyes with a fear Adder had never seen in her. Oh, she nodded. Okay.
You really did know about this whole thing.
See, I don't remember this. Oh no, what are these options? I can't, I have to go the angry route because, like, the you poor thing is very patronizing, first of all. And second of all, it kind of avoids the whole, like, facing the truth head-on thing. Because, like, the truth is that if she did know this whole time, and she was making stuff for Illigrab, and she didn't seem to care or indicate anything was wrong to us, and just kind of rolled with it.
What? No. Come on now. You're kidding me.
I also just want to see Adder get mad.
Wanted to hurt people. Eat people. And you just let that be? Why did you... How could you just stand by?
Because, like, this is new in their dynamic.
I thought you got a heart somewhere in there, no matter what y'all said. I thought you cared deep down. But this?
Oh, shit.
Come on. I thought we were friends. I thought we were...
This is going so far, Adder. But also, you know, you gotta get it all out there. Adder stopped himself mid-sentence. There it was. That same look as the one that she'd seen in his eye when Eka held her tight in the ship. Oh. Ana's lips moved, but they spelled nothing. What? Hard as he tried to dig in the dry well of his heart, Adder couldn't finish the thought. Ana shoved him back the second his mouth opened again, effectively launching him across the room. Everyone in the room seemed equally confused about what happened. Both the apprentice lying on the ground against a wall and the smith that pushed him, and even the girl watching from afar. But there's no backtracking now, I guess. Not with Ana taking the lead. Oh no, I hope I didn't fuck that up. Hey, what's up, Lurking? Oh no, I hope I did it right. Ah, we're just gonna get bodied. Dashing faster than time itself, Ana leapt over the stunned boy and kicked his head down, propelling herself towards the narrow windows on the ceiling. Oh shit, she's making a run for it. Adder needed a longer than usual moment to fully grasp what just happened, but the sight of a fluffy white tail disappearing past a hole somewhere above him finally returned him to reality.
Ana, will you quit running away already? Get back here! I'm not done! Ana! Please come back. I just wanted to do things right.
Oh no! Okay, well if I did mess it up, I have an extra save file, and we can try that again. But I'm gonna keep going for now, because I have no idea. I don't remember any of this. Sep finally skittered away from the column behind which she'd taken cover. She glanced silently at the deer on the ground, and then back at the window, measuring her words.
You did as well as you possibly could have.
Okay,
There was no way to avoid holding this conversation in the end.
that makes me feel a little better. Oh, I feel bad. But I mean, it's true. She was holding stuff from, I mean, it's not, like, communication problems aside, she was still just kind of vibing with, like, all that knowledge and just didn't indicate anything was wrong. So, like, the gazelle let her back slide down against the wall next to Adder.
I wish you would have let me read her mind to get a straight answer, but there's no use crying over it now.
That feels kind of, I mean, without consent.
I thought she would trust me enough to...
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Trust is a two-way door, Adder. You wouldn't have trusted her with your secrets either.
Quit with the gaze reader act for once, will you? You don't know that. You don't know crap about me.
Ooh. The look Sep sent his way spoke volumes. Adder sagged until his antlers touched his knees. He put both his hands on his face and sobbed into them. No, I can't handle Adder crying. Don't do this to me.
Am I a bad friend?
Oh no. I love this himbo. You can't make him have real serious emotions like this. Maxie. I'm gonna cry. I'm already emotional today. Sep wouldn't answer for the longest time. She simply shuffled her body forward with all the grace the situation allowed, and carefully let her head rest against his shoulder.
You're bad enough for me.
Aw. That's cute, though. Once more, Sep surrounded the base of Adder's neck with her arms. Slowly, carefully. The boy looked down, finding her face so very close as her hands reached to his head. His lips found hers through admiration, and desperation refused to let them go.
We can't. We gotta find her.
You know where she's going. Let her make things right. She can take care of herself.
You sure?
No, but I need you right now.
Oh, yeah, giggity. Happy Valentine's. This simple confession, a moment of lost vulnerability, was enough to make Adder's heart and senses melt into pure foolishness. Their kisses made them stumble from wall to wall until they found themselves slipping back into the pool, sinking, but not alone.
Ooh, sorry.
Oh.
didn't expect anyone here
Hi.
yet. Getting started
Hi,
without
Gyoff.
me, huh? Well, too bad. Uncle Gyoff needs to tell someone about his day.
You didn't see anything. Definitely wasn't making out with your sister. Don't look over here.
Gyoff? Adder? What brings you here? Who told you about this place? What did they tell you?
I should be the one asking that. What are you doing here, Bard? I thought you said this place was cursed.
Yes, it's incredibly cursed. You should never come here again. And less so today of all days. I've been looking for you everywhere.
You thought I'd be in a bathhouse?
No, you thick skull! I got tired and assumed you'd be off somewhere frolicking with that beloved golem of yours. Right after I saved your butt, too. Ugh! Who let you in? Was that her just now?
Wait, I'm gonna need you to back up. When did you save our butt, Gyoff? When did that happen? Because I have no memory of that happening.
Say what? I wish. It's just you and me, Bard.
Adder? What's wrong? You didn't scream she's not a golem.
Nothing's wrong. It's just us friends here.
Oh my god. Gyoff watched intently as a pair of horns and a fluffy tail attempted to dive away from the scene. Yeah, that's about what I thought would happen.
I don't even know why I tried.
Bard, it ain't what you...
Save it! I don't want to hear it! I don't want to know a thing about you two! No, you have to tell me all of it! Don't you dare say a word before we get home!
But do you really want to know all of it? Because, there's a lot. There's a lot of things I wouldn't want to know about my sibling. Let me just put it like that.
And for the love of Vitat, put something on!
Well, bath scene over. Oh, I feel so bad about Enid right now. Adder took a long look at the situation. His run-down shack. Gyoff. Sepp. Himself. The quiet breath that precedes the plunge into the depths of the unknown. I love how short Gyoff is. It never fails to amuse me. He raised both of his hands slowly, as if trying to stop time itself.
Alrighty, let's go over this one more time. No insults, no buts, no she said, I said. So you see, Mr. Bard, we're...
A pox! A pox on your house for stealing this poor lad's innocence! I should have let them burn you, you light-fingered tramp!
A fine insult for yourself, but what am I?
Wow.
A dunce is what you are! Both of you! I should have known his tears were the product of your evil arts from the very beginning, insidious corruptress! Backstabber! Strumpet! You knew my friends were off limits!
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, you have any of those left?
Sure he does. He's got me, and I can promise you that Seb got no clue we knew each other at all. See, turns out I met her like a year ago, and I kind of helped her, and then we met again in the slums, and she offered to tell my fortune, and...
Fortune teller, yes, and I'm a gardener. In my many years working with tools, I've learned to call a spade
Wow.
a spade, and a hoe a hoe.
And yet you still have the gall to call yourself both a bard and my brother.
Easy now, you two. That's not how bros should talk to each other.
Yeah, man.
Good thing we're not siblings then.
Oh, how I wish if that were true. Then I wouldn't have to bear the need of removing my eyes for having witnessed such a scene. Ugh!
Always the drama queen.
You, of all people, should not be talking about queens, honey.
I mean,
Then you should not be lecturing me on who I lay with. Or are you just jealous I got to him first?
Oh,
Can you two shut your snouts for 1 second?
I was gonna be like, yeah, Gyoff doesn't really have any room to talk. All their neighbors echoed the thought with far less gracious words. Adder pulled his hands back little by little, shifting his remaining eye between the two.
Yoff, we got something real important to tell you. So how about we all take a nice, deep breath and calm down for a...
calm down! You should have thought of that before taking my sister to bed!
We didn't know she was your sister!
I'd have even looked in her direction if I'd known that. I mean, to be fair, it hasn't happened once since I found out, so...
This was a recurring thing?
Oh man, we're in it now.
No, don't tell me, I don't want to know!
Please. You shouldn't even need to ask.
Yo, what's up, Seahawk? Yeah, it's been a minute. How have you been?
If I'm asking, it's precisely because I know you, Omaseptut. I know that little rotten, cynical
Ooh.
mind of yours like it was my own. What were you hoping to achieve by tangling this poor little fool in your wiles?
Busted out the full name and everything.
I wasn't trying anything. I'm only here because I wanted to help.
Help? Help who? Help me become an uncle? Help Adder fight his profound loneliness? What kind of help could you give anyone? Haven't you broken enough families yet?
Ooh, okay. That one's a low blow.
Stuff a sock in it, Gyoff. You ain't got the foggiest idea what Seph's been going through.
Oh, and you think she's bared her soul to you just because she's bared her ass?
Adder made to lift a fist in reply, only to be stopped by the gentle push of Sep's hand on his chest.
I burned him. On purpose.
Gyalf's nostrils flared open as his eyelids slid down. She has to have burned him too. Because he remembers her. They're not siblings by blood. They're adopted siblings, but he doesn't see her every day. Her curse, he would have forgotten all about her in a couple of days. Something happened to him too. Oh, right. Oh, I don't know if I should say, but yes, I do know. I know. I got it. Definitely that is what happened. I'm finally getting out of the food industry after this week. Yo, nice. Yo, that's hype. That's hype as fuck. What are you getting into? Just out of curiosity.
You even gave him your name.
Though Adder was thankful for this sudden peace the gazelle had built upon just 5 words, he lacked any context whatsoever to understand the situation.
You think we should tell him now?
Gyalf's eyes sprung open once again.
Tell me what? And you say you've seen all of this happen, and it wasn't just a figment of Adder's imagination.
Oh, okay, so we just told him everything. I'll be working for Filmworks at their warehouse. Nice! Oh, that's awesome. Yo, congrats. The food industry is fucking misery. And I mean, I have gripes with my own job. One of them, anyway. But, like, getting out of, like, food service, I mean, mostly I don't interact with customers at all, but I still kind of do sometimes. But the fact that it's just not food service is, like, some people, man, the way that they treat food service people, it's really gross.
They were real, Gyalf.
And they were hungry.
Only for, like, the bad deer. We're just gonna eat the rich. Gyalf doesn't even need to worry about it. Gyalf needed a moment to assess the situation.
All right, that's as good of an excuse as any to finally turn a page in the story of our lives. Pack the bowls and the lamp. I have to gather a few provisions for the way. We'll be out of town before nightfall.
He's just like, no, fuck this shit, I'm out. No, come on. Echo would not eat Gyalf.
Whoa, hold on, Bard. You're running like a scalded ain't here. You sure you want to get like that? On just our word? I know you worked real hard for this place.
Tailed now. I mean, I'm just saying, just based on, you know, vibes, different story. I was a cook, not a server, so I got out of dealing with Karens. Yeah, still though, there is a certain amount of stress that comes with dealing with, like, cooking up orders and stuff. So I'm still glad for you to, like, move on to something else. And like, it shouldn't be that way, you know, like, I feel like people who work in food service should not have as miserable an experience as it generally is for people. It should be different. It just is, and it's gross, and I hate it.
Adder, my lad! What kind of self-respecting bard would leave his best friend alone in his darkest hour? No, what kind of herald would do such a thing? I swore that I would make you a knight, and a knight I'll make you, be it here or at the end of the world!
So what's the actual reason?
Can't you see, you hoofhead? The city is brimming with beasts, and you're eloping with a knight's fiancé!
Yeah.
Of course we're leaving!
That's true, yeah.
So, how does Galdybrew sound? Too swampy? Oishent! How about we go touring the western limits instead? I'm sure the Cheetahs would be happy to have more heirloomite musicians to boo.
But it ain't like you're just fixing to sneak out, right? I mean, someone's got to warn the rest of the city. Tell everyone what's coming to them. There's a whole darn lot of people in danger out there. I ain't even said bye to Ain't.
Oh my god.
Like ships in the night, Adder dearest. We live in wonderful times where we can just ask the Farthagin a few towns over to send sound blooms to all the friends we're leaving behind.
Ooh, sound blooms.
What will I tell them then? Hey, y'all, I'm so sorry I left y'all here to get digested. We can't abandon everyone to their luck.
Digested is really good. The main downside is no more free food after this week. Well, depending on what kind of restaurant you worked for, that could be beneficial. Because, like, some places, it's like, you didn't need to be eating that food all the time. It's probably not the healthiest. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you work. Yeah, no, because actually, I've worked in a couple of cafes where they had, like, a whole lot of really, like, a lot of health food and stuff. So maybe that was a bit presumptuous of me. Never mind.
Sep! Tell your boy toy that we have to leave right now!
Oh shit. Oh no. We can still fix this, or I can't lose everything. Oh no. Okay, instead of thinking about what I would do, what would be the most Sep thing to say? Probably this one.
You can do whatever you want. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, this is very Sep. Okay.
My ass you're not. I'll drag you out by the tail if I have to. You're not doing the same thing to me twice.
I mean, they're both technically Sep answers, but like this one just feels, this one vibes.
Excuse me? You're the one who abandoned me with that woman. I fought tooth and nail to make a name for myself in this city. I will give up on my life now to chase you.
Breaking news, Butter Rolls. You won't get to survive your resentment if you stay.
That's easy for you to say. You don't have anything to lose. But I'm this close to achieving everything I have ever aspired to. One stupid misunderstanding away from being invited into Heirloom's court.
Say what? But you hated the idea. I saw it. I mean, I saw you argue with Miss Rochelle about it.
Well,
You're way off base. I just hated the idea of her profiting from it.
yeah, I was like, I felt like that was more like she just really hates Rochelle, and I don't blame her because I hate Rochelle.
That ain't what you said that night on the beach.
Then I've changed my mind, as one does. I plan on doing whatever and whoever I need to get the respect I deserve.
Yeah, that's what was behind my thinking of picking that answer.
I didn't want you to find out like this, but not only are you a harlot, you're also a gazelle! You're only ever going to get high regards from a deer when you're sitting on top of them.
If you don't quit spewing crap right now.
No, let him. He's speaking from experience, see? Who wouldn't respect a filthy bard that wasted his future singing the praises of a hanged deer when he plays the flute better than the string?
Oh! Wow! That's a sex joke.
I may be filth, but you aren't even a speck of dust.
Let's just find a way to get you home safe, Sep. Golf's ain't no place for a sane person.
Yes, go back to your gilded cage. Drink your fat ass to sleep and let the adults handle the rest.
I can't go anywhere. I've been kidnapped.
Sep let her head fall on Adder's lap Adder's hands flew as far away from her as physically possible.
I've surely been tied up and locked, my fate resting completely in Captain Adder's wandering hands. Oh, how the tables turn. It was usually the other way around, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I guess it was, wasn't it?
She was the one who... It's all lies!
Trying to embarrass me with such pitifully immature tales? That's hardly a story. If you heard the things he mumbles to himself at night when he thinks I'm sleeping, you wouldn't be able to look him in the eye again.
What are you talking about?
Actually, yeah, I kind of want to know. Do tell.
They can hardly be worse than the things he said in my bed.
Go back to arguing, please!
Well, it sure looks like a hostage situation.
There he is!
Here. There's nowhere to run when it comes to Thar's kids, Adder.
The man, the myth, the legend, Illigrab. I've been wondering what you were doing this whole time. Please, do we get to tell him about the beast? I really, really want his reaction, because I know he knows. I know he's behind it all. So I wanted to just be like, oh my god, Illigrab, there are beasts that are about to attack the city. And he's just gonna be like, haha, I know, it's great. I invited them here. I can't wait for them to murder all of the elite. Everyone turned their heads up to stare at the tree man in complete disbelief.
Sorry for coming through the roof, Guff. There's some edible mold on the beams. I thought you may like to know.
Oh, nice.
Don't you dare act all friendly with me, you heartless stump! How did you find this place?
I have to admit that Talon was understandably uncooperative about this particular case, so I had to enlist the help of a few friends to find your little abode. I've known for a while now, really. I just figured you wouldn't be very happy if I dropped by without a reason, and I'm sure your little sister couldn't agree more with that sentiment. Odd place to hang out after a trial, but I'm not one to judge.
Illigrab. Illigrab laughed heartily at his own pun, but then he quickly quieted down when he saw it didn't land so much as crash into the ground burning.
You come to arrest us?
Arrest you, Ada? For what? Stealing a lady's heart and getting away with it? Please. Elbar's just abusing his power as usual.
Man, Illigrab rules.
That's just your case, of course. Slapping a noble deer unconscious in the middle of the plaza is a little bit higher on the crime list. But I figure we both know by now that Miss Jasif never lived under the same metaphysical rules as the rest of us do. She can do as she pleases.
Oh yeah, because everyone will forget about it.
I'd have to get a bit more serious about this whole ordeal if Elbar were to stop screaming he's been betrayed and start treating it as an abduction, of course. But I'm sure you'd be quite a few leagues away from Heirloom by then.
What?
Are you encouraging us to escape?
Me? I would never, Pumpkin. That could get me in trouble, you know.
Oh my god. Seriously, Illigrab.
I'm just saying that if I were anyone but me, I definitely wouldn't stick around to watch what happens when Sir Askadath gets his title upgraded to Lord.
Stop listening to him! Don't believe a single word this murderous creep says! He was spying on us!
Do you have to drag your grievances into everything, Goff? I was waiting for the right moment to say something. The conversation wasn't exactly letting up.
How much did you hear then?
More than I care to know. But you know what they say: safe, sane, and something other.
No clue where you're going with that, but we ain't got time for a lesson. If you ain't here to take us prisoner, there's something you gotta hear before you get.
Yes, oh my god, I'm ready.
Hold your buckthorns, lad. I said I wouldn't show up without a reason, and I meant it. It's a mission of the utmost importance and urgency, in fact. Have any of you seen Aina?
Oh.
You're out here looking for her?
That I am. I've walked half the city already. As messed up as it is, she's still basically a child in the eyes of the law, Adder, and her father's, if he had any. He desperately wants his daughter back safe and sound, and we're kind of short on hands at the moment. First, it's Elbar screaming, "Send all the guards to find him! Don't come back until you bring me his head!" And then you have Red yelling, my daughter! Bring her back to me this instant, you wilted willow!" And who's paying for Illigrab's overtime, huh? No one.
First of all, solid impressions. Second of all, mood.
Speaking of which, it took me ages to get red off that darned pie without you, lad. Don't worry, I did manage to find a new helping hand.
Oh, he got Chow to help him do it.
For you, I'd keep an eye out for any sudden bouts of hair loss. You may have a new curse or two on your shoulders.
Yeah, what's another curse? Illigrab trembled slightly at the thought of more flames.
Oh, well then. I wish I could stay here chatting all evening, but I really should get going before someone in the neighborhood tries to chop down this noise disturbance. Send Dana my way if she drops by. I feel like she's due for a little reminder on the meaning of the words home invasion.
Wow. He really is the mastermind. Well, not the mastermind, but like, he's definitely pulling a lot of strings in this plot right now.
Wait, Illigrab, you can't leave for...
I know. You want to clear your name. That is extremely brave of you, kiddo, but it is not a wise choice right now.
He knows, Adder. Don't worry.
That ain't...
Fine. Tell you what, if you really feel like going through with this, I'll be waiting for you all day in the keep tomorrow. You can just drop by, explain your position, and I'll make sure to listen close.
The city's full of beasts!
Illigrab blinked. Then he started cackling.
Of course, the city is brimming with beasts.
Oh my god.
That's why you had to run away. Classic Adder. You can tell me all about these beasts if you decide to show up tomorrow.
Fucking love him.
Have fun with your sleepover, kiddos. Don't forget to check for beasts under your bed.
He's pretending like he doesn't believe us, but he totally fucking knows. Don't pretend like you weren't the reason behind the beasts being in the city in the first place. Oh my god, I fucking love Illigrab. Illigrab's chuckles could be heard well after he left Slander District. When only the faintest traces of fresh pine fragrance remained in the air, Gyop looked left and right, hoping to find some newly sprouted hesitation. The only thing that grew in Aina's absence was the determination in her apprentice's visage.
You're not actually considering his offer, are you?
You got wax in your ears or what? This could be our only chance to get a word in with him.
Get a hold of yourself, you melonhead! That was nothing but a poorly laid trap! Not to mention, not a problem to either of us once we're 300 leagues away from Erlem.
Adder's lip remained firmly shut.
Come on, we have to leave. We'll disguise ourselves as a traveling troupe. Adder, you can learn how to juggle rocks along the way. Me, I need to find a new hat and a northern accent. Sep, you just continue to be a hindrance. It'll be fine. We'll be...
I'm not going anywhere, Bard.
What?
I don't want to run anymore. I'm tired, all right?
Oh, that face. I can't.
I don't want to have to run again. I don't want to leave my family behind every time. I've got nowhere to go but here.
Adder, come on. Lad, my lad. We are friends, you and I. I gave you a place to live, and I taught you how to survive. Don't throw everything away for a girl, a rock, a tree, and a senile old geezer. I know. We'll find you a nice doe in the steppes. I'll steal her boyfriend, and you get to console her, and then you'll settle down together in the farm of your dreams and have all the fawns you want.
Gotta say, solid plan.
Don't bother, Yoth. It's like talking to a brick wall.
Darn right it is. I made up my mind that I ain't fixing to die any day soon. So don't you worry about a thing, Bard. All this thick's gonna need is a little more time to come up with a master plan and a touch of magic to make his words as pretty as they can be.
Adder sent a wink in Sep's direction. He got an eye roll for his effort.
Fine. Do whatever you want. It's not me they're looking for.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. Echo wouldn't eat Gyoff. Gyoff slammed the door shut, taking all the air in the room with him. Sep and Adder shared a glance under the last few
Never mind. I'm not leaving you two alone in my house.
Oh, what? You know what? That's fair. Gyoff kicked the door open. He'd seemingly produced out of the air 2 plates of bread, boiled beans, and sweet lichen that Adder had never even smelled before.
You get one night, and that's it. One night to let you clear your mind, get some rest, realize how stupid what you're saying is, let reality sink in, and then we leave. Understood?
He tossed the plate at Sep's face before curling down on his side of the room. I figured that their house only had one room anyway. It looks like it really is just 3.5 walls, like, slapped together.
Good night, Sop. Make sure to smash any flea you see.
Oh, Sep. I keep forgetting how, like, privileged she is. Sep gawked at the unsophisticated meal and then back at her. Hey, sometimes plain food, especially after eating a bunch of rich food, is, like, the best. You can't beat bread. Though, I mean, who knows how old that bread is.
Please tell me he's not serious.
But, like, I could eat just plain bread. Like, not so much beans, but I'll take the bread.
Okay.
Sep just ugged herself to sleep. Time slogged by that night. Soft snores and crickets in the distance. Shrubs that had been bitten down to the branches jittered around, trying to find a place to sleep. Adder searched the depths of his own mind for wisdom he lacked, trying to find a solution. Maybe it's because I'm biased, but I don't see a problem. To nothing in particular, to everything that was happening, to each and every last mistake in his life that had brought him to this moment. But no answers ever came. All he could do was struggle, even in his dreams.
You can't stay here. You have to leave.
I can't.
Adder.
I know that voice. Adder nearly had a cardiac arrest upon seeing the purple beads shining over him. Aina was quick to shut his snout.
Boss, you're back!
Aina forced his mouth shut once more. Her eyes shone towards Sep, curled up in her own corner mere inches away. This was no place to speak. Aina took Adder's hand and led him outside. I feel like I need to clarify too, because some people were getting the wrong idea about Aina, and I have a feeling it's because of this really gross trope about, like, mute characters that, like, have trauma and then their trauma's healed and they magically can speak again. And it's like, no, that's not what this is. Like, there's a lot of mind-ready stuff in this game is what it is. Like, Aina is mute. If you hear Aina speaking, it's not Aina speaking. Now that we've clarified this. They sat on the edge of the cliff where Gyoff's house rested. It's kind of nice out here at night. It wasn't a tall enough hill to see the whole city, but the fires shining throughout the night in the market and the bigger temples were still discernible past the nightly haze. Man, Aina is so ripped. I'm still not used to it, and it's so good. The chilly breeze that blew in the night proved that dawn soon had truly come and gone. I think that's the summer season. And the northern clouds would be pregnant with snow in a matter of weeks. Yes. Bleak night, that's winter.
I ever tell you I could see your place from here, boss? Sometimes, when I feel sad or lonely, I'll look over here and I'll think that at least I'll get to see you tomorrow.
Aina poked at her stomach with a smirk.
Yeah. I think about the taters, too. Darn, boss.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to be honest for once, will you?
That was really good. Aina recoiled into a reddening little furball.
Of all the lies I tell, I think the biggest one may just be I hate it here after all. That was just me whining. I mean, look right there. I found a home. I built a new life from the bits that remained after I ran. I thought I'd be okay, but now everything's breaking all over again.
I really want to know, like, what happened to Adder before he came. All I know is that he came to the city to become a knight, and that his family lived on a farm, and, like, I want to know more about what happened before that. He's really insinuating that some terrible shit happened.
And I feel like this gotta be my fault somehow. Like, serves me right, you know? I didn't see it coming. I didn't want to see it anywhere. I messed up twice. I don't deserve a third chance. My name should be the top of the beast list.
Aina shoved her snout right in front of Adder's. Her purple eyes glowed a warmer hue under the orange moonlight.
Yes, boss?
She pulled at the sides of her mouth and smiled wide, showing each and every last one of her sharp teeth.
Yeah, I should have figured a ways back you ain't no dough, huh?
Her cheeks bounced back into place. She pressed her lips together until they formed a single line. Ana looked deep in thought for a moment. She grabbed Adder's right arm and moved it towards her ears. It only resulted in Adder's hand covering her whole face. Yeah, his hands are bloody massive. Ana looked down at the ground, searching for an answer she couldn't find in her head. And then an idea struck her. I think the reason that I get a little bit twisted up about people misinterpreting that Ana can't speak is because, like, I relate a lot to the not being able to communicate. Not, like... It's, I mean, obviously, like, I can speak, but, like, it's... When I get upset, I, like, lose words and become more, like, nonverbal, I guess. And it's just like I understand the not being able to communicate even though you desperately want to. So, like, that part of Ana really resonates with me. And I know that is, like, an important thing to Maxie, the developer, too. So it's like, no, don't misunderstand. Don't get it twisted about Ana. Lacking any branch that wouldn't have been chewed to splinters, she grabbed one of her daggers and turned the tip to the soil. Scribbles followed soon after.
What's that? You making a cool Beastbuster weapon design that'll help us win? That's your secret, ain't it?
Beastbuster.
You got some sort of magical hammer that makes you super strong?
Ana flexed her arms and puffed up her chest, showing off every last one of those amazing sculpted muscles that lay under her bristled white fur, as if to say, these are my hammers. Okay, you know what? I have one gripe, one single gripe with Ana's new design, and that's being a smith, one arm should be more buff than the other one. That's my only gripe. Like, take one arm and make it even more jacked. Don't make anything less jacked, just make one arm more jacked. That's my constructive criticism, because smiths always... That's how it is with smiths, right? Like, one arm is always a little beefier than the other, because that's the one they're always swinging. But I don't know, maybe Ana's ambidextrous and just kind of, like, shifts from hand to hand whenever she's working.
Yeah. If someone strong as you still gotta run from her problems, what hope do the rest of us got?
If Ana heard that quip, she didn't do anything to show it. Her task took priority, always. Also relatable. Ana's technique lay on the slow, methodical arts. Calligraphy, carving, forging. Those schools that encourage finesse in just a handful of movements, repeating the same steps over and over in order to polish the final product. I feel like I would be terrible at calligraphy, but carving and forging I might be okay at. But I mean, like... Hi, my name is Kemi, and I'm a tailor, which is also a thing that is just, like, repetitive movements. I do a lot of the same thing over and over again, and it's a lot of detail work. I don't know about slow methodical, though. Sometimes it can get pretty aggressive. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm an aggressive sewer. I don't fucking know. With this, I mean to infer that the abstract circular mass of the squared-off spikes that she had carved into the surface of Duck-Nod didn't quite look like anything Adder could ever recognize. And yet, its semblance was clear once Ana pointed at herself.
You? Oh, come on, boss. I don't mean to offend your drawing skills, but there ain't no way that's you. You don't look like that. You're a bajillion times prettier. Here, let me give that a try.
Adder stuck his tongue out as he set out to draw an Ana as painstakingly detailed as possible given his circumstances. Holding finer tools wasn't an easy task with hands like his, and much less when the artist's tool of choice was a dagger, but Adder did his best all the same. In the end, the figure looked remarkably nothing like the Ana he knew. Oh, I see what this is.
What the?
Ana had never been particularly expressive, but she looked even less so than usual.
Well, ma'am, it is clear that if my life depended on my drawing skills, I'd already be dead. This don't even come close to doing you justice. Maybe it's just because I was trying too hard to look real. Here, let me try again from memory this time.
Oh, maybe this isn't what I thought this was going to be a thing of, like, the way that he personally interprets her not being accurate to the person that she actually is, but maybe this is actually more like a digging into the curse thing, thinking about Sep. As Adder closed his eyes and lifted the dagger, he realized something was quite odd. Yo, that's what's... Try as he may to recall her image, he only just now came to the conclusion that he did not, in fact, know what Aina looked like. Oh, fuck. And now, having his eye closed for so long, while his brain struggled to recall this particular memory, well, his mind started to question what it was he had set off to do. It wondered if that time wouldn't be better spent sleeping, actually. It wasn't until he felt a weight climbing into his lap that his eye finally jolted open.
Boss? What are you...
'Cause, yeah, he spends every single day with her, so... we don't really know. 'Cause obviously her connection to the Hatsa is weird. So maybe it would have a similar effect to Sep's curse. Unbothered by Adder's many frustrations, Aina kept drawing intently. Her rough circles and lines soon became the shape of a man with 1.5 horns, and old and angry. Oh, it's Pertok, with a mighty beard and a cane. That one was easy enough. And then 2 triangles came to join him, inverted one over the other, with only a line connecting them. That's a boat. It took the waves and the lines of the wind to convey the message properly.
Ship?
I love that drawing of Pertok. Oh, look, there's me. Oh my god, Eka's nose is so fucking long. I love it. Anna drew one last thing besides the ship. Tall and long, sharp triangles on its head and on its face. She drew a circle over the 3.
Your family.
Aina paused for a moment to observe her creation. She nodded. She began scribbling letters on top of each drawing, and then she looked at Adder expectantly.
I'm sorry, boss. You know I can't read a thing.
Oh yeah, Adder is illiterate. She nodded as if to say, I know. She pointed at the letters over the first drawing she made, and then took the finger to her chin. She's trying.
Aina?
Aina nodded eagerly. She tapped several times over each symbol to remark where each sound had to be pronounced. She pointed at the other creature besides her. Oh yeah, I can see it too. The first symbol's the same, Aina and Eka. And the last symbol is also the same.
Eka?
Aina nodded again. Then she tapped her father's picture with the butt of the dagger and started making noises again. Wait. The tendons in Aina's neck started bulging out. She put a hand around the base of her jaw. See, that frustration is so fucking real. In a fit of rage, Aina sprung to her feet and slammed the dagger against the ground. Adder knew better than to even think about holding her anymore. Yes! Understand? I get it. She started jumping and swinging her fists, stomping all over the picture.
Whoa, it's okay. Don't force yourself, all right? You've done a lot already.
Aina quieted down after a couple of minutes, but her frustration hadn't gone away. It merely shifted into a different thought. Her efforts didn't feel like enough. Not nearly enough. Hoping to make himself useful for once, Adder focused his attention on the strange doodles looking at him from the ground.
You're going back to the ship. With your... family.
Aina's ears shot up. She nodded. Then she plopped down next to Adder, letting her head rest on his lap.
You don't want to do whatever it is you gotta do you? But you've got to.
Aina nodded against Adder's chest.
That's one way to avoid thinking for yourself, I guess.
Hello. Adder and Aina jumped away from each other at Sep's sudden apparition.
Please, don't act so surprised. You could wake a dead man up with a whisper.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
I don't speak that loud.
I bet Geoff would have kicked you out ages ago if he didn't work nights.
Aina turned again to Sep. She pointed 2 fingers at her eyes and then turned them towards Sep.
You want to watch next time?
Oh!
Oh, dear.
Wow. The world had never seen Ana sign a correction faster. She pointed at Seb's eyes and then back at herself. Seb heaved a long, indecipherable sigh as she dragged her hooves towards Ana.
You were asking me to read your gaze. Is that it?
Ana nodded resolutely. See, it's fine when you ask permission. Or, like, get permission
Will you
to.
insult me again if I do?
Oh! I wasn't sure which save file this was. Because there's a couple of different paths in the previous chapters, and I've played them all. And I couldn't remember which save file this was. So now I know that this was the one where they had that exchange.
Again? Boss.
Though maybe that happened in all of them. I don't know. Ana put a hand to her chest and made a face that screamed, I would never! Convincing exactly no one.
No takebacks then.
Sep crouched down next to Ana, holding her knees to one side. I feel like Adder should be the one doing this.
He must have mentioned he could do this too.
No.
Oh no. This is the save file that doesn't have the moment between Adder and Ana.
He failed to mention it.
Really? Seeing how he talked about you, I thought he would have run to tell you the second he found out.
Then you were wrong. You must be a terrible judge of character for a mind reader.
Yo. This is awesome. Seb shrugged nonchalantly. That's Maxie, by the way. For people who don't know, that's the game dev. That's what he sounds like.
I don't like this. How am I supposed to know what this Rose is hearing?
Oh.
Take your time dropping insults. It's not like we had anything important to do in the morning.
You'll be far less a hurry when you find a knife lodged between your ribs at dawn.
Yeah.
See? I can make you be as eloquent as I need to. Just take a deep breath and think of what you'd like to say.
You're exhausting. I don't know how Adder puts up with you. But he does. So, please, take care of him.
Oh.
I won't make any promises.
Nor did I expect you to. Since we're at it, I'm sorry I can't seem to remember you. I'd say I was important in your life, somehow.
Oh.
I'm sure I thought you were a huge nuisance, and I could use more reasons to dislike you. Next time, I'll ask Killicrab to share embarrassing stories about you. You'll be the laughing stock of the town before you know it.
Anything else?
Just one thing. Your ass is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god. Ana.
What?
And I need you to tell Adder that I...
Seb pulled away with closed eyes.
No, you tell him that yourself.
Oh shit. We're gonna get to do it too. Good, this is what I wanted. Seb dragged Adder down by the arm.
Come on, dear. Time to do your homework.
Oh. Adder kneeled down in front of Ana, craning his head towards her. He opened his eye wide and held his breath in, to the point where he was completely immobile. Adder had to take a hand to his face. At last, when tears started peeking out of the corner of his eye, no, stop.
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best, but I can't hear anything.
Then perhaps you should be the one saying something to her.
Aww. The suggestion was punctuated with a wink and a soft kick in his tail. A deep breath preceded the declaration that would echo all over the hills of slander.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Aww.
And I'll be back for you no matter where you gotta go. You hear me? I love you this much. And that's from one side of the world to another. You always got my love with you.
Wow, what a baby. Oh, Adder. Adder is such a good boy. Oh, Ana's face turned a deep red, but not nearly as red as her face went when Adder wrapped his arms around her and leaned in for an unexpected kiss. Wow! Ana's life seemed to escape her body. It was then that Adder's time to freeze, thinking that he'd done something wrong.
Woo! Bravo! Bravo! Encore!
I am all in on this polycule. I am all in on this polycule. I ship them all until the end of time. If looks could kill, Anna would have slipped on a banana peel and stabbed herself. So she did the next best thing that she could immediately think of. She looked at her face, oh, before hurling herself down the cliff where he couldn't reach her, running for her life. Adder turned to look at Sepp, speechless.
Why'd you do that?
You two give me anxiety.
Sepp shrugged her arms behind her back, smiling with a level of honesty she rarely saved for anyone.
And I owed her one for before.
Well, thanks for the help.
Oh man, I really wanted us to be the one that got to have the conversation, though. I mean, that was adorable, actually, and I don't regret that at all. But I was like, I feel like a real gaze read thing between Adder and Eno would have been everything. Maybe in a future chapter.
I have a terrible feeling that we're scheduled to run out of that soon.
Oh, I got an achievement for that. Oh! Adder's eye flew open as his body catapulted itself forward. He couldn't help but pat his chest and his face, making sure everything was where it should be. He was in his house. In his bed.
Don't tell me I slept in. Oh. Was I dreaming out loud again just now, Mr. Bard? Bard?
No reply. The sun was rising somewhere beyond the missing wall like any other morning. Gyoff's bed, his slightly bigger, hay-filled burlap sack to be precise, lay discarded paces away, as usual. But the bard himself was oddly absent from his favorite spot in these hours of the morning. Adder's pillowy chest. Aw, I kind of like the notion that they just, like, sometimes cuddle.
I realize that you're trying to bribe me, and I'm fully okay with that.
No, I swear, that's really what happened. His chest made such a nice, like, headrest. Every single character in this story shoved their face against it, intentionally or not, at least once. I would too. It looks very comfortable.
Uh-huh. Talking from experience, aren't we?
I thought that ought to balance the accusations of butt favoritism.
The booty stands proudly on its own, unmatched.
There was very little that could force Gyoff out of his bed so untimely. The break of dawn was Adder's time to rise, not his. Adder looked around, wondering what else was missing. Trying to piece together the puzzle of his memories after the second most stressful day of his life.
This way, Adder.
Hello. Adder blinked at the voice. Before his eye had time to open again, he was already on his feet.
Sip, you're here.
What? Did you think I'd change my mind and run away in your sleep?
No. It's been a while since I last woke up with you around. I missed that.
Oh, Adder, stop. You're so cute.
Now I feel bad for having considered it then. I never thought I'd hear anyone say they missed the sight of me in the morning. Here, you deserve a reward. Close your eyes.
Adder closed his one eye and pursed his lips, hoping to find Sepp's face very close. Instead, he got a slice of something shoved in his mouth.
What's this? It's good.
I believe it's an orange of some kind. I was hungry, so I went to fetch us some breakfast.
You what? You brought fresh fruit into slander? That's like hollering from the rooftops that you're living the high life. Where did you even get this?
Do you want to know?
Kinda. Adder hesitated, but Sepp did not. With a mischievous grin, she placed one of the oranges in his hand.
The orange I gave you belongs to me. Return it.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh. Adder stretched out the orange towards her. Sepp grabbed it solemnly.
Do you want it back?
What want back?
Oh! Oh, this is a little bit worrisome, though.
Your orange.
Oh, that's for me? I mean, if you don't want it, I'd sure be happy to get that off your hands. But I still want to hear where you got it.
Of course. I'll tell you later.
Oh, wow. Sepp. That's a slippery slope, darling. Though, I mean, you know, whatever. Adder ate his orange happily, unaware of the edge behind Sepp's smile.
I think I've fully come around on the matter of your escapade into my mind, Adder. You managed to dredge up some incredible memories.
Oh boy. Oh, I don't know if I like it.
Yeah? What crime?
All sorts. Mostly feelings, in fact. I was convinced that I was fully aware of all my thoughts and abilities. But I guess I wasn't even capable of controlling that much after all.
Speaking of knowing, you got any clue where Golf is?
That loser wandered off a while ago saying he'd make us leave whether we wanted to or not. So, I'm fully expecting another argument once he gets back.
There was a knock on the door.
Speak of the bard.
Why would he knock? Sepp reached out for the handle, but Adder yanked her hand back. Yeah, why would he knock? Another knock. Adder still held her hand.
Adder, my beloved, are you in there? I seem to have misplaced my keys. Kindly open the door for me.
What keys?
We ain't got no keys.
Yeah.
That's the Tickman knock.
Tigman knock. Sepp and Adder waited with bated breath for the next knock.
Open up, scoundrel! I know you treacherous thief!
Hi, Elbar.
I have captured that undersized manservant of yours. If you don't want him to suffer the same fate as you, I suggest you give yourself up at once.
I love that they have a system, though. Because, like, that's a thing. Like, I'm not going to say what mine is, but I do have a system with friends to be like, if I'm in trouble, this is how you'll know.
Oh, my Adder! I'm so sorry. I had to tell him all about how you kidnapped Esteth and coerced Esteth, my poor childhood friend.
Coerced Esteth.
Enormous Jacifo Septa to retaliate against Sir Askadath.
I knew it! I knew it! It was all a plot to ridicule me. But how dare you blackmail me through my pride to be? Release her, villain!
Oh, well, I mean, this is good, though. Sort of. Not for Adder, but this shifts the blame. So that, like, Sepp still has her shot. Adder looked at Sepp, absolutely horrified. She grinned back with an innocent shrug.
I guess that's my cue to leave. Oh, Sir Askadath!
Yeah, get it.
Please help! This handsome villain threatened to hurt my elderly maid if I didn't go along with his plan.
Elderly maid. You just can't go 2 seconds without slighting Rochelle, huh? For some reason that Sepp couldn't even start to guess, instead of immediately darting away, Adder started roaming the room in panic, kicking open every sack and rummaging through every hay pile that had so faithfully served as a bed for his stay.
Don't come in yet, I beg you! He's put a dagger to my throat and will slice
Nice.
it open if you dare step in!
Nice save. After much running in circles looking for alternatives, Adder finally settled for Gyoff's sleeping bag. He tugged at the sides to make it wider and wider until the seams were about to burst.
I'm buying you time, you moron! What are you doing?
The buck lifted the sackcloth over his head.
Adding realism to the scene!
Why does it have a frowny face? Why does it have a frowny face on it? He didn't so much shove Sepp into the burlap sap as stuff her in it, head first. With a grunt, he heaved the newly kidnapped royalty onto his shoulder and dashed off through the missing wall. There was no way around the house, and there was no way back. Elbar had brought a whole squadron of guards with him. Oh no, are we gonna jump down the privy shaft? Adder stopped dead short in front of the cliff below them. He hadn't thought quite this far ahead. Now he faltered to continue.
My love!
Elbar finally tackled the door open, finding absolutely no resistance to his attack and hurling himself and 5 other guards to the ground instead. He looked up in time to see Adder climb to the top of a makeshift slide. A tipped-over outbox, to be precise. Yeah, well, okay, that's not quite down to the... Okay, this works too, and disappear under the cliff.
Get them!
Everyone gulped watching the result of such an action happen in real time. The friction made quick work of the outbox, tearing it down to brick shards faster than the makeshift slide could hurtle through the steep fall.
Crap!
Yeah, we're gonna die. The only item that remained between Adder's butt and the rocks by the time he slid down to a halt at the bottom of the slope was his underwear.
Those are my good pants!
Oh, they weren't that good, Adder.
How dare you mock me like this one-eyed scoundrel! I shall flay your buttocks myself for this!
Say please first. Elbar leaped towards the steep cliff with Gyoff still in tow. Impressive as it had been, Adder had no intention whatsoever to remain and see the result of his heroics. Wait. He was gonna... How... how is he gonna follow us without dying? Adder stopped running at last, finally collapsing to his knees in a shaded alley behind a grill. He set Sepp on the ground behind him. He reached for the sack, fully intent on helping Sepp slip out of it, only to get headbutted in the nose. That is a brave look. Sepp jerked from side to side until she managed to tear a hole for her head with the tip of her horns. The rest of her body remained very much stuffed inside the sack.
Anderson, what is wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Oh,
I thought
no.
you wanted me to steal you away.
I can't deal with all this Adder crying. It's really hurting my feelings, and I feel attacked.
And you just had to choose the one chance we had at fixing everything?
No, baby. This still works, though. You're still, to Albar's eyes, you're still an unwilling victim in all of this. So, like, if you get returned, everything's gravy between you two, and you can still get married and have everything you want in the world.
Don't you wee me after dropping me in it like that. I hate y'all. Y'all the worst friends I've ever had in my life.
Okay, just to be clear, I had nothing to do with this. Yoff sold us both out. Pretty in line with all his life decisions, really. Abandoning people is basically his whole personality.
Yeah, I mean, I love Yoff, but he's a little bit of a coward.
What's your excuse then?
I know when to fall by the wayside. Look around you, Adder. None of us actually give a damn about the city or the beasts. You just proved that prick right. We're all just serving our own purposes in the end.
Right, which is why we're here. Which is why the beasts are here. Adder lifted his head up from between his knees.
No, that ain't what happened just now, is it? He wasn't being a self-centered turd for once. He did it for you. He screwed me over because he wanted you safe.
Oh. Yeah, because I got the impression that that was what Sepp's plan was to get out of all this and come out on top, was to pretend to be kidnapped. Because she did that, like, little, hell, he kidnapped me, I can't go home thing. But Yoff doing it, like, catching on and being like, yeah, I'll run with that. And I can buy it. I think he does actually care. He wouldn't get so upset and, like, freak out and argue with her so much if he didn't care about her.
What? Don't start trying to justify this now. Not everything has a reason, okay? He's just an asshole. Does it matter what he did it for? We're screwed either way.
It matters because it means he's good deep down and he wanted to help somehow. And he got you playing along too.
I don't know. It's complicated. I feel like Yoff, maybe I'm doing Yoff dirty. I feel like because I think he blamed Sepp for his father dying. So it's complicated.
It was a good chance, so that doesn't mean I have to thank him for it.
They were close,
I didn't
though.
ask for his help or yours.
Of course you didn't. You would have just ordered us to do something if you'd thought of that first.
Oh.
How are you supposed to ask for help when you just think everyone's below you?
Oh, shit. Damn. Fucking real talk from Adderson. Adder wanted to stop talking, to stop damning himself after having made a fool of himself, but the words just kept on coming. No, honey, let it all out.
I got it now. I got it for real, I think. I know why it's always black or white with you. You don't ever want to think of the reason behind things, because you're so convinced that you got us figured out. It's Miss Mind Reader's world. And if you were wrong, you'd have to admit we're all free to make our own choices.
Damn.
Well, it's looking like the end of your world as we know it, Your Majesty. How long you gonna keep on dawdling through life, splitting everyone between folks who could do something for you and folks who are beyond redemption?
If you are done with the lecture, I have a life to get back to. Enjoy yours.
Sepp never walked with anything less than a dignified stride. Not even to saunter away in a burlap sack. Adder found himself alone once more. It occurred to him that maybe he would have preferred to let her keep thinking that. To be as far from right as possible. The closer he got to being honest with himself, the closer he got to driving everyone away from him. Nobody liked the person he was when he wasn't bending over backwards to please them. Oh, fuck, please stop. No, this hurts my feelings, and I cannot. This is so hurtful. He didn't sag for long. He wasn't completely alone after all. Adder turned his face toward the slums, determined. Towards the one person that had stayed with him throughout everything, for better or worse. The man who had been consistently unreliable all along. He wouldn't give up on Gyoff.
Wait! What are you doing?
Huh? What are you doing? Weren't you?
Elbar will be coming that way, you cretin! Are you trying to get yourself killed?
Adder pondered the very same thing.
You know why I'm friends with Gyoff, Sep? It's because I get him. We got a lot in common, the two of us.
No, you don't! What are you even...
Adder brushed Sep's cheek with his thumb. His smile carried a story.
Remember that one buck I knew? The one from down yonder the steps? Well, he didn't get along with his family either. Wasn't all they hoped he could be, see? They didn't like him very much by the end, so they sent him away hoping he'd come back someone better.
Oh no, I wanted the backstory, but I don't know if I want the backstory now that it's happening. Adder.
But he never did get better. He never did come back. He messed his whole life up. Forever. So we get. He ought to stayed and taken whatever they got in store for him. But he went and ran. The price was everything he'd ever known.
Oh no, oh my god. I want to know details, but I don't want to know details.
I don't know if you've ever met the guy. But the thing is, he can't ever return home. And even if he could, he couldn't look him in the eye again.
You don't know that.
Adder tried to keep the smile on his face. This is breaking my heart.
He was kind of an innocent guy. And he had huge dreams, so Gyoff scammed every last coin out of him the second he arrived. Don't tell him I told you this, but instead of getting mad at the bard, the guy couldn't help but think, whoa, I wish I was like that.
Oh no. It's like, I respect that hustle.
He wanted to be cold, to be fine with the bad things he'd done, but no matter how much he tried, he could be Adder, but he couldn't be the rest of that. He was still me no matter what. And there ain't no way that me guy could survive leaving his family behind twice.
Oh my god, stop it.
Of course he can! He's just been betrayed! Come on! They'll cut your head and mine if they find us talking like this!
I'm sorry, Sep. Love, I'm for real grateful for all the chances you've given me, but I meant what I said. I ain't choosing between the people I love no more.
Why are you being like this? Can't you listen to me just this once? You're only going to get hurt.
No, I get that. And I think you're way smarter than I am, because you can see this don't make a lick of sense. I'm sure it's one of those honor bugs rich folks get sometimes. Must have caught a bit of it somewhere.
Oh, stop.
I'm sorry I dragged you here. You don't gotta come with, okay? Go find somewhere safe to hide and tell them you escaped when I wasn't looking. Be as selfish as you say you are this one time. I want to stop worrying you too.
Oh, stop it, Adder. Adder, no!
Like you, Adder.
I ain't...
Maxie, I am going to send you my fucking bill for therapy.
No, you're right. It ain't. But I sure wish it was. So I'm just gonna pretend a little longer.
Adder glanced away, knowing that he would rather do anything else in the world. He knew that if he looked at Sep just one more time, he would remember all the times she'd asked him to run away with her, and he wouldn't dare say no ever again. But then, he felt a tug in his little finger, and he knew that it was already too late to escape. He turned around just to find Sep staring at him with glassy eyes, and an undignified blush across her cheeks.
You're not going to leave without a proper goodbye, are you?
Help. I cannot handle this. I'm too emotional.
Are we talking?
Okay. Please, yes, lighten the mood. Oh shit, what's up, Daniel? Daniel's fucking raiding me. Raiding me? What the fuck were you streaming? Oh, geez, sorry. My New York came out with a vengeance. Hey, fuck you. What are you doing? Get out of here. What are you doing here? Dude. My emotions are fucking all over the place with this. I can't deal with this. I can't deal. I wanted to know more about fucking this main character guy. Because he's like... He's such a big dumb himbo. And he's always like being real sweet. But like never talks about himself. And I was like, I want to know more about him. He seems like he's got a backstory. Now I'm getting the backstory and I'm like, I wish I had never asked. I'm so sad now. You were doing PK Scramble practice? Nice. Yo, everybody is playing, like, hella PK Scramble lately. I should do a PK Scramble sometime soon. I'm so close to the end of this chapter, though. So, like, I'm just like, oh man, can I finish this tonight? I don't know. I've got like 30 minutes left. Oh shit, I don't know. Do I have enough time?
You said it yourself. This could be the last time we see each other.
It's been so long since I've recorded. I don't remember enough of the script of the parts that I'm not in, so I'm just like, I don't know how much is left, but I want to... I can't end the stream now. I have to finish this tonight. Especially since, you know, I at least remember how it ends, and it's gonna be crazy.
All right, look, I miss you too, and I'm very glad I'm alive and we're alone. And the three know they know. I'd be right happy to do whatever you wanted, wherever you wanted.
Wow.
City Plus Size is coming for us right now, and I gotta go save Goff and...
I will not settle for anything less than a kiss. Or are you afraid of getting a little warm now?
I'm glad that this got, like, sexy again and, like, lighthearted, because I was not able to handle all of those feelings.
Afraid of a kiss? Anderson, son of Gerfod of the Upper Field, don't know no fear, Missy.
No fear.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Adder pulled Seb closer with one of his shovel hands and then leaned in, his heart pounding faster in a second than in the whole last moon. A kiss so heated that it warmed up his very soul. It made him feel as grand and special as she'd made him feel time and time again. He forgot for a brief moment that there was a world outside, and that both their necks were in grave danger. There was only the kiss as far as he was concerned. This moment, too, would come to pass, alas.
Good. Now play along.
Huh? Something struck Adder's face at full speed, leaving a bright red mark. He needed an instant to register that it was, in fact, Sep's hand.
Unhand me, you brute! How dare you try to steal me away from my...
Oh, is Albar here?
My lips belong to one man and no more! Oh, Sir Askadab! Sir Askadab, where are you?
Hark! I think I hear the
Yep, here they come.
melodiously grating voice of deceit somewhere, slapping the man who made her slap your brother in the first place. Yeah!
You see, oh my love, how could I fail to understand such an obvious ploy?
Bro.
The what?
You know what? But hear me out, because I know Albar is mega gay, actually. So, like, but what if Gyoff and Albar just got together? What if? I'm just saying.
No! I can't believe this deer was actually a pirate, planning to make me his queen. He's, I said play along, you numbskull, going to take me to the Sea of Fensnar to claim the throne of the Saxarat for himself.
Yar.
Yeah, whatever she said. Gonna take her to my lair and get legally married to her. Gosh darn it, Sip. I'm gonna kill you to give me a heads up from time to time.
I love that he just fucking put in legally married.
Guards, forget that beautiful bastard. We have to stop that fiend before he makes away with my princess.
He really called him a beautiful bastard. Yo, Albar and Gyoff need to get together. Look at, he even thought about it. He turned over and was like, beautiful bastard, me? The guards that were just catching up rushed up to grab Gyoff. They looked at the stumpy bard, and then they turned their faces to Albar.
What are you standing there for, you layabouts? Never mind. I'll go get them myself.
Yeah, I ship them, actually.
There. Now I don't have to worry about you. You're welcome.
You really did turn me into Captain Horneater.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend all the time you need crying about your infamy once we have decided our next move.
What? Oh no, ma'am. I've changed my mind. I want to drop you.
No,
I'll
you're
drop
not.
you as soon as I can. We're getting too far away from Slander as it is, and there's no way I'm carrying you all the way to Illigram.
I'm the only woman standing between you and the tip of Elbar's sword.
And your sacrifice is much appreciated, but I can 100% guarantee he wouldn't be coming after me if I wasn't carrying your majesty. If you want to help, just go and magic the guards away or something.
Of course! Let me try and persuade the minds of 12 armed deer while I'm bouncing on your shoulder. Or maybe I could burn the sack and set the whole street on fire as we pass to give them actual reasons to call me a Sephi. Is that what you want me to do, Adder? Arson?
I mean, yeah, okay.
Ma'am.
Do crime. Do crime.
I'm sure you've gone into plenty of arson on Lord Snotty Snout already. We don't need any more of that.
Aw, is that jealousy I see? Did you think he had a pretty mark like yours?
You know what? How does Albar? I'm like sitting here assuming, because like Albar should have forgotten about Sep too, right? Does he have a mark? I don't know. Now I'm just like, everyone who remembers who Sep is must have some kind of burn mark.
Nah, I don't think nothing. But hey, since you're bringing it up, I'm sure the jerk-ass could use a mark or two. You should leave a big red blotch on that butt hanging from his face. One to match his little bros. That'll teach him how to treat a lady.
Like you knew much better.
So what if I don't do things the knightly way? I'm still a farmer, ma'am. I may not wear the right clothing, but I definitely know no? You know what? I think you made your point. You're still making a mistake all the same.
I'm not the one reaping what he sowed. If you were half the farmer you claim to be, you'd know some harvests are too fast for one husband.
Ma'am, I'd call the whole darn town over if these two farmhands ever stopped being enough. But why'd you keep running back to that gosh darn friggin' silver spoon-fed musclehead of all the horn eaters of Dakna when he don't even want you?
For status, Addersand. For status.
Oh, I didn't realize I needed your approval to choose my patrons.
You didn't even choose him.
Adder, please. You can't choose the love of your life. He for whom my heart flutters. All I can ever dream of. Yada yada, what a heartthrob.
Yeah, right. You're lying to me and to yourself. It's his horns after all, ain't it? So big and shiny and...
Adder.
I thank you. I polish them every day.
She just wants status. She does not care. With a quick swoosh, Albar sent his cape away. He smirked as he tipped his sword toward Adder, clearly set on not letting them walk another step.
I've hated you.
Your legs have been slowed down by the weight of your villainy, miscreant.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Adder got the low end of his back kicked.
I mean, hands off my booty, landlubber! Tell me what you've done with Golf or your precious wife is gonna, walk the plank? Am I supposed to say that there? Anyway, she's gonna kick the bucket if you don't tell me where my friend is.
Friend? Friend? Not only are you wicked, one-eyed scoundrel, you are stupid as well. You never even noticed that your herald betrayed you from the start.
Oh.
No, I 100% knew that.
Yeah.
Yar.
So you think? But we were one step ahead of your evil wits yet. He was the one who instructed me to wait for you right here.
Like, here? Here?
In this general area.
Yeah, I was like, how did he know?
Isn't that where it hurts when you get kicked in the nuts?
What?
Don't start interrupting me with your shameless mockery. I know your vocabulary is far vaster than that.
Yeah, Captain. Pay attention to his spiel, or he'll have to start reciting it all over from the beginning, and he'll end up hurting his throat.
Yeah, that's no good. Vocal rest is important. Also, I forgot for a second that Albar is a theater nerd.
Thank you, babe. Screaming threateningly always takes a toll on me.
You ever try hollering from your belly? I heard it.
Yeah, use your false chords.
Sorry.
Where was I? Oh, yes! Yoff knew that your wretched heart would be crushed by the immense guilt you'd feel over abandoning the only man who had been compassionate enough to offer you a single crumb of affection in your miserable existence.
He's gonna catch a crumb of affection from these hands when I find him.
Oh, shit.
And trust me, Rickon, if there is one thing I hate more than peasantry, it's piracy! Pay for your things, goddammit! Artists need money to eat!
Well, okay, artists need money to eat, but companies...
And
I don't...
writers and actors.
Yeah, you tell them, Lynn. And every other freelancer in the world, yes, 100%. Those idiots that think that passion is its own reward have the empathy and the creative spirit of a boot soul. Fuck them.
Stealing from small creators is not the same as stealing from soulless corporations
Yes.
that feed on the creative output of the workers they employ, okay?
Yes. 100% yes, yes, yes. Lynn, icon, legend. Stealing from people like Albar is always morally correct, though.
Oh, no, yeah, bleed him dry.
Return my treasure to me at once! Do you know how much her love has cost me?
Then pay up. Oh, no. Ow. I just fucking hit my leg in a very, very terrible place. Oh, there's a lot of scar tissue there. Ow, 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 ow. Fuck. Oh, man. I don't know. I kind of, if I want to play pirate, I want to be like, well, pay up, yar. But then, like, he might actually do it. I don't want him, no, he wouldn't, though. Help, which one do I pick? I don't actually know. Pay up.
I'll return her gladly, but only if you can match the price you paid for her. I'll be gone and y'all be happy together at last.
No! Sir Askadath! Adder, what is wrong with you?
Sorry, my bad.
Don't give in to his demands.
You miserable liar! If your love could be so easily broken by gold, you never even loved her to begin with!
Didn't you just say you bought her?
Don't you dare lump us together, you thief! I'm a self-made stag who built his whole
Oh my god, oh my god.
inheritance.
Just kill me now, please.
How dare you order me to murder you? I will murder you on my own terms!
Elbar pointed his sword towards Adder. Jesus Christ, and there he remained, frozen in that gesture for a full minute, just to prove his point.
Now would be a real good time to do something, Sip!
It really would, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Sip!
Die!
Sir Askadath!
Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am? I see you back there, Rochelle. No one invited you to this party. Hello? Do not like you. No, ma'am. Be gone. Be gone. The point of Albert's unnecessarily long blade. Is that supposed to insinuate? Anyway, stop just a hair's width short of the tip of Adder's snout.
Behind you.
The knight stood stately still. A moment later, he came crashing down, chin first against the ground. Blank were his eyes and his expression as he lay on the pavestones. Red was the blood that trickled down his forehead. Extraordinarily red, not blue or purple or any other color that Adder had so often heard distinguish nobles from people like him. Adder, it's an expression. The pirate and the princess looked up, struggling to keep their jaws locked in place at the sight that awaited them. What? Did she actually knock him out? I still don't like you, though. My respect is very, very begrudging. Where Albar lay now stood none other than Miss Rochelle, still heaving on a fireplace poker, now bent in a particularly incriminating way. I still don't like you. Rochelle tossed the poker indented with Albar's head shape next to its rightful artist. Then she reached out over the body to get a purchase on Sep's arm. Her face a presage of dread.
Come with me. I won't keep him down long.
Sep hesitated at first, as I would too, but a single grunt from the massive body below them was enough to get both of their hooves moving towards the heartache district. With a brief en route stop to Albor's head, just in case, the two women sprinted away, leaving the two men behind them. Then again, Adder was much too preoccupied to think about chasing them. His eye was transfixed on the brief insinuation of a glowy-eyed silhouette observing them from the other end of the alley. Hi, who could that be, I wonder? He felt a drop of cold sweat zigzagging down his back. His legs tensed up, but he still couldn't move. It's fine, don't worry. I'm just here for Albar. His whole body was frozen in fear at the sight.
Did I stutter? Move!
Though, you know, bit mad. Asked you to clean the ship, you never did. Not cool. By the time Adder blinked again, the shadow was gone. He shook his head and began running after Miss Rochelle, making sure to accidentally trip over Albar's head as well, of course. What time is it? Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna go over a little bit, just because I think there is 20 minutes left, and I don't want to do 20 minutes of a stream of this, so let's just get through it. I think. I'm not positive, but I think. We're close. The older woman led them again through the narrow alleys skirting the walls of the Heartache district, home of aggregated houses of ill repute and slimy storefronts where one could get most anything except sunlight. I want to get too agitated to where I can't read anymore. Hang on. Streets the guards would oh so casually avoid in their patrols, lest they be recognized with their uniforms on. Adder kept turning his head back, nearly losing sight of their guide time and again. He wasn't familiar with the area, and would have much preferred not to have to excuse his way through the streets, so he picked up the pace, making a great deal of effort to catch up to Sepp. Her stride, he noted, was surprisingly quick, when lightened of the horror of having to be carried by Adder in front of anyone else.
Sepp, I think I saw.
Are you trying to take us on a leisure tour around Heartache or what, Raoul?
Rochelle didn't bother replying to that. She merely tossed back a crumpled piece of paper as she ran. Oh, a wanted poster. And Adder could count himself lucky that he couldn't read a single thing it said about him. It was clear that around streets like these, discretion remained the lowest common denominator. Ooh. Sepp was clearly winded, but she thankfully wouldn't have to keep appearances up much longer. Their stroll finally drew to a close as the alley opened up to the guarded street once more. The street that led to the Desert Rose, no less. Yeah, I figured this is where we were going.
Why are we here?
What a deep question, dear. Why are any of us here, really?
Oh my god, fucking... How long has it been since Rochelle showed up? I kind of, like, was done with her for a while, and then I forgot, and now I'm done again. With one line, Raoul.
You know what I mean.
Well, I'm here because you didn't manage to spoil the surprise for Sir Askadaf. Is that how you thank me for saving your boy knight's life?
Oh my god, fuck off.
And speaking of me, I'm pretty sure I just saw...
What were you expecting? A warm welcome and a toast in your name?
I'm sure there are a lot of ways to greet someone that don't involve trying to get them killed.
Not for you, there aren't.
I'm with Sepp.
Oh, honey, come on. Is that really the tone you want to start this conversation on after disappearing for 3 days?
Again, impressed that you remember her.
I was just hoping you'd have forgotten by now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, stop stalling
does
the
take time.
conversation. How did you know where to find us?
I don't remember how many days it takes, but, like, it does take time for people to forget her.
Let's just leave it at Gyoff and I had an axe to grind, shall we?
Oh, okay, yeah, no, fair.
So he was playing both ends?
Yikes.
She knows Gyoff too?
They were raised at her. They were raised together. Sepp made a discreet choking motion towards Adder.
Know him? My, I would certainly hope so. He was the only horn eater my age around the Desert Rose. Huh. The evenings we spent roasting fools to death.
Fuck, I could imagine them actually being really good friends, Gyoff and Rochelle. Just like people watching and gossiping and talking shit about people.
Hold up.
I could see
You
it.
saying you two are the same age?
Are you ready to gamble your life on your next words, dear?
Oh, shit.
You look younger.
Flatterer.
If you two are done with this stupid farce, I'm still waiting for an answer. Why would you take me back? No, I know that much. Why bring Adder along? Is this really all Gyoff's doing?
Is that so surprising? Even a squandered waste of a man like him can't help wanting what's best for his little sister and her boyfriend.
Before Sepp had a chance to contest any of those statements, Miss Rochelle scurried off toward one of the guards.
Oh, help, please. Sir Askadaf needs reinforcements. Some miserable ruffian has knocked him unconscious in the middle of Forlorn Avenue.
The squad standing in the way immediately marched away. Rochelle merely watched them leave. After this, she waltzed around the corner and headed towards the servants' back door.
See you on the other side.
We're still not square, bitch. The door was left ajar, only adding to Sepp's confusion.
We're not actually going in, are we? It's clearly a trap.
It's mega a trap.
Sepp, I've been trying to tell you. I think I saw a beast tailing us.
No, what? No way. I would never.
You think?
I mean, I know a whole darn lot of fluffy folk with glowing eyes and interesting body shapes. Could be a number of things.
That was a fair enough point, much to Sepp's chagrin. She sighed into her hands, considering their options.
If I have to choose between beasts, I suppose I'd rather deal with the one I know best.
That's fair.
Don't worry, Sepp. I'll be right there with you.
That's the part that worries me.
The back door into the Desert Rose closed loudly behind them. Though they truly feared the worst, Ral didn't suddenly leap toward them with an army of guards and ropes. She didn't seem to pay any heed to them at all, busy as she was washing her hands in the ceramic basin by the entrance. When she finally turned around, the apprehension that the lovers radiated made her grin.
I have to admit, I didn't think you had the mettle to come in.
Oh my god.
We're in trouble, Ral. Far worse trouble than you or Elbar.
Oh, trust me, I know. It's written all over your face. I hadn't seen you this scared since that time you ran into the door and snapped your little horns in two. Oh, you cried like the world was crumbling around you. Nothing we can't fix this time either, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
Feel free to slip out of that fancy new dress of yours into something more comfortable. I'll ask the servants to bring some tea.
I'm not leaving Adder alone with you.
Then I guess you'll get to wear matching clothes for a little longer. How fun!
Miss Rochelle swaggered off to the kitchen to request a few things. After that, she ushered her guests to the exquisitely decorated meeting room nearby, where anything from raises to the deepest secrets in the palace were always discussed. Ral reached out for a clipboard lying on the rock glass table and started taking notes. Honestly, she couldn't have looked more unbothered by their presence as she went about scribbling down notes if she tried. Listen, I don't like this bitch, but I have respect for her. Because she knows her business and she does it well. I can't deny it. I gotta respect the hustle. But I don't like her. It occurred to Adder, one of the rare strokes of genius that he had every once in a while, that such stillness of face and mind had to be the product of years of effort, exactly. All manners of defenses built up in answer to the certainty that her secrets could be stolen at a glance. Oh yeah, that too. I just meant in general, but... This observant thought vanished into the nether as one of the servants arrived with a kettle, a small tower of pastries, and only 2 glasses. Oh. Adder had spent moons having... Oh no. Licentious dreams? Licentious? Help. About this re-encounter with the love of his life. The almond pastries, slathered in fig jam, honey, and topped with a date that he had so unwillingly abandoned. Not a fan of figs or honey or dates, but I love almond pastries, I gotta say. I love almonds, love pastries, love them together. I just don't really like, I don't have the biggest sweet tooth. I like things that are very, very slightly sweet and I like nutty and flaky and I love mildly sweet breads. I don't like it when you heap on the sweet. He was well past the point of taking any hints.
What's the big idea, Ral?
Well, if you must know, I'm trying to figure out our Bleak Night schedule. I'm thinking about shifting some of the performances around on the 2nd, 4th next moon. See? I have a feeling one of the usuals is going to be grounded for a long, long time.
Oh.
You may not.
Oh. Yeah, this is kind of their world. Adder should definitely butt out. Sepp and Rochelle locked eyes, surprised at their simultaneous intervention. Adder limited himself to shrinking back into his seat, certain that he didn't want to arouse the anger of either woman. This is their fight. Let them fight.
Ral, I need you to listen to me like you haven't ever listened. It's the only thing I'm going to ask you in my whole life.
Ooh, a favor and a lie.
Wow!
Getting saved from a romantic escapade. This should be good.
Damn. Rochelle pulled the kettle towards her and started pouring herself some tea. Sepp took this as her cue to start.
I know that what I'm about to say may seem impossible to believe, but Heirloom will be attacked soon. By beasts, no less. They're not just a fantasy, Ral. We've seen them ourselves. If what they said is true, they're planning to carry out some sort of moral population cull on the deer. I don't know how long we have or who's going to be affected by it, but they'll wreak havoc on the city if we don't do anything to stop them.
I have a feeling that Raw might not be in on it, but be into the idea. I don't know. Miss Rochelle remained very still for a moment. The only sight of life in her was the subtle quiver of the hand holding the kettle, which had topped the ornate drinking glass quite a while ago. Oh, maybe not. Maybe she will actually be kind of unsettled by it.
Dang my melt, sugar. That's horrifying.
Do you believe me then?
Of course I do. I know you wouldn't lie about something this silly. If you say beasts are coming to eat us all, then they most definitely are.
Man, I wish that Echo would just fucking do it with Miss Rochelle. I might be doing her wrong, but I don't care.
Oh, bless the gods. You have to help us then. You're the only person left in the city with enough power to stop them.
I'm honored. You think so highly of me. But I don't have the power to do anything about this. I couldn't even stop you from frolicking around with this mismatched fawn and ruining your future with Sir Askadaff.
None of that matters now. Besides, I'm sure that Elbar's jumping in joy at the chance of rescuing a swooning princess from a pirate or whatever will be fine.
Yeah.
Honey, please. You weren't so naive as to think that little stunt of yours will be enough to mend your relationship with a knight, are you? You're dead to him now. You made sure to thoroughly soil both of your reputations in front of the whole city yesterday.
Well, I mean, Albar is kind of dumb, though. Like,
That's not what happened at the trial.
So that's what it was. See, a doe like me tends to ponder why there's a whole puncheon of wine instead of a gazelle at her doorstep. One thing leads to another, and then, what do you know? I got to see my favorite girl slapping Lord Burbith of Askadaff.
Burbith had it coming, to be fair.
It's funny how news flies when you're barely yards away from them.
Miss Rochelle took a long sip from her glass. Her eyes peered over the edge, gauging Sep's reaction. A wry smile accentuated her point as she continued.
We're so fortunate that our princess never needed to learn from her mistakes.
How odd. Adder couldn't help but feel like he had heard such an accusation before. Little did that matter now. Sep was staring intently at Rochelle with eyes wide open. Glowing. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Who told you?
Just Sif. There you go, doing funny voices again. Don't waste your tricks on me, dear. I was going to tell you anyway.
Huh. The flame behind Sep's eyes disappeared, but she didn't relax her stance one bit.
I knew we'd have to have this talk sooner or later. Kids grow up so fast. I guess... No. Yes? Perhaps you are finally old enough to hear the truth about your mother.
Oh, no.
Like, what? You really think someone as smart as Sep's gonna fall for such an obvious...
Sep snapped Adder's snout shut. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't like where this is going.
Oh, my poor Thar. With the guy always spending his nights down the street and 3 children to mind, your mother needed a confidant. Someone who could fill her loneliness when that dead weight wasn't around reminding her of the vows they'd made.
Wait a
What are
minute.
you getting at, Rel?
Come on, dear. You know what I'm saying. Won't you read my mind? Would you rather I spell it out for you?
Is this like a, fuck, what was Athena's mom's name in Dual Destinies? Like, they're lesbians? But, like, she's married and has a kid and stuff, but, like, also lesbians? Listen, I know it's not always like that. I can't help it, though. Like, this game's so horny, I can't help but jump to that conclusion. And also, you know, it would explain a lot of things, like why Rochelle is such a fucking bitch to Sep all the time if she blames her for stuff. Cause it's really reminding me of the situation with Aura Blackwell and Athena's mother, who I can't remember her name right now. Rochelle placed the empty tea glass back on the table.
Thar was my wife.
Oh!
As far as either of us was concerned, not his.
Fucking one fucking sentence away and I called it. Holy shit.
You and Mom? When? Why? What?
I don't think that Aura Blackwell and Athena's mom was ever confirmed canon, though. It was just heavily implied. Because Aura, at least on one side, Aura Blackwell was definitely in love with Athena's mother. Spoilers. Adder needn't have been a gaze reader to guess what Sep was mentally going over every time she'd seen her mother and Rochelle slipping away together in the past. Ooh.
Are you sure that you want me to fill you in on all the details?
I mean, yeah, kinda. Sep gripped the edges of her skirt, her face burning with more emotions that she had words for.
Didn't you used to say you were off Sage?
Oh shit, yeah,
Don't you ever dare ask me that again, dear. All that matters in the end is that her 2 sons looked and sounded too much like him. It was hard for her to even talk to them, to make excuses for a guy day after day, to have a constant reminder of all the poor decisions locking her in the pillory of his life.
We don't really know that much about a guy. He kind of sounds like he sucks.
But it was different with you. You were her own reckless choice. Her daughter to the very end. Her precious little curse.
Fucking rude. Rochelle leaned back into her seat, drinking in Sep's stupefied reaction.
Yes, she told me everything about your circumstances from the beginning, darling. That's how I know those half-made tattoos on your boy night aren't precisely a fashion statement.
Damn.
That means...
It means that come next week, Elbar will have forgotten all about you and you can simply start your tale anew as many times as you need. How exciting!
Hold on 1 second.
What?
Hold on, because I can't believe what I'm hearing. You knew about the curse, and yet you kept her locked away from me and everyone else in the world all this time?
Of course not. She chose to shut herself in, just like she chose to let herself out. And I'd say she's learned to open up quite a lot since then.
And you just casually let her do anything she wanted as long as it lined up with what you wanted her to do. You think you're
Wow.
You heartless tunk?
Damn.
Well, that's uncalled for. I let Yasif leave and she came back of her own accord. After you broke her heart, may I add. You do remember that, correct? I only had to welcome her back and watch her cry over some worthless, misshapen fawn, like I knew she would. I didn't even have to ask. It was obvious like that.
Damn. Adder opened his mouth to retort, but the right excuses failed to take shape.
Don't think I don't sympathize, dear. Offering your unconditional love to someone like her takes a thick hide.
Wow!
Much thicker than someone like you could ever have.
I'm glad to have more understanding of Rachel's character, and I get it, but also, still hate it.
I will give credit where credit is due, however. You've really gone above and beyond to come back and break her heart one last time.
I'm never gonna hurt her again.
No, you're not.
Whoa. These words were sinister enough to throw Adder back out of his rage. Well, also, what was that noise? Was that noise in the game, or was that coming from my microphone in the hallway or something? They were emphasized by the Oh! No, it was the game. They were emphasized by the familiar sound of a mechanical whir approaching somewhere behind the wall.
You really
fuck.
should have run away when you had the chance.
Oh no, oh no. This part is coming back to me. I remember this now. I do know what. Oh no. Oh no. Hi, Taylor. Hi. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh shit, I actually know this part. Sep only snapped out of her own shock when the door swung open, revealing a finely dressed merchant followed by a retinue of marble deer. 4 of them, to be precise.
Tasakirmat Septut. I apologize for failing to visit sooner.
Man. I make a lot of fucking remarks about Taylid, but fucking his voice, fucking is Ryan. It's Ryan, right? Like, oh, excellent. It's so good. Hey, Heavenly, thank you so much. This has been a ride. I'm actually kind of astounded at how much I really did not retain from reading over the script. But unfortunately, it's all coming back to me.
Taylor! Y'all told me how to...
Oh, he would. They're brothers.
No, honey.
Oh, never mind. He wouldn't.
That heartless. For what it's worth, he had no clue that we had a guest.
I don't actually know what the relationship between Goff and Taylid is like. I feel like they wouldn't get along at all. Maybe that's just because I don't like Taylid.
Indeed. I'm afraid I had to keep my presence unannounced. This may very well be the first time I've fallen ill in 10 years, as far as anyone in the guild is concerned. I've been anxiously anticipating my sister's return since the news of the trial reached my ears yesterday. I see I wasn't wrong to worry.
I'm so in love with the delivery. It's so nice to hear.
Taylor, whatever it is you've heard, I can assure you that there are more urgent issues to take care of right now.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, boo. I'm coming for you.
I'm afraid I have postponed this matter long enough. Rest assured that everything I do for your own safety.
Oh, excuse you? With a snap of his fingers, a golem crept behind Sep and apprehended her, gripping her arms back and away from each other.
Golem, hold her gently but firmly. She's branded a second deer. We don't know what else she may be capable of.
I fucking knew it. It's Gyoff.
You don't have to do this, Talid! Ral, please! I'm serious about the beasts. There's no time for this now. We can't possibly fight them. We should evacuate the palace and run as far as we can.
Run, she says. Dear. This is why you'll never be a businesswoman. You let your feelings get the best of you every time.
Okay, but like the murder though, the murder that's about to be happening. But I mean, I also understand, you know, I respect the hustle.
You aren't thinking about this rationally.
On the contrary, I'd like to think that I'm being quite pragmatic. Anyone with a purse is more than welcome in the city. And seeing how convinced you are of this, Talid and I are going to find out how much corn the beasts carry very, very soon.
Oh. Oh, good luck with that.
We're all going to...
With a single nod of Talid's head, the golem shoved a sleeve against her mouth.
Come on, honey. Don't look at me like that. I'm sure you knew this was a trap. Whatever you were hoping to achieve, you miscalculated the risk.
Ral smiled almost proudly.
Ah, the flame of youth. Who knows? Maybe the beast will eat us both and you'll get another chance to pry this place off my dead cold hands.
It's on my list.
For now, however, I think you need to spend a good long while in your room thinking about what you've done.
Adder! Adder, run! Don't even try to...
Seb's muffled screams vanished in the distance as the golem carried her upstairs. Talid didn't bother turning his face towards Rochelle before speaking.
Keep Septut safe and out of the way. Make sure she doesn't hurt herself trying to escape.
That face.
And for the love of everything, Ral, get her some decent clothes.
Oh my god. Not the priority, Talid. Rochelle pressed her lips into something that could only barely pass as a smile as she closed the door. And yet, right before it was fully shut, she peeked in one last time.
Do me a favor, dear. I know it doesn't make much of a difference at this point, but that twerp truly made sure to treasure Yassif as much as he could. Don't drag this out too much.
I'm still not gonna feel sorry for you. I still don't like you. Talid nodded curtly as the door was locked behind him. And you know what? I do have to give props to Talid. Boy knows how to dress. He be looking good. All the time. The moneylender finally had the decency to look someone in the face, just in time to observe Adder circling a table defensively.
Before I remove the last hint of asymmetry from that crooked face of yours, there is something I would truly like to know. What name shall I write on your epitaph?
Holy shit.
Adderson, son of Gerfod of the Upper Field. If you gotta write something pretty.
How unsuitable. I would have much preferred a real name. Be it as it may,
That is his
I must
name.
extend my gratitude to you nonetheless, Adder. You have far exceeded my expectations.
Oh, yeah? You don't say.
I had long wanted to emasculate that miserable excuse for a captain of the guard in public. Alas, no matter how long my reach is, noble blood always remains one step beyond. Untouchable for those of us who have everything in common except their veins.
Oh shit, maybe I've been doing Talid dirty this whole time.
I am thankful to you for stealing my sister away from that useless waste of nepotic breath. I truly am.
But not thankful enough to forgive my life, are you?
But I, Kemi, I'm still like, nah, Talid's gotta go.
No. I will simply finish what that oaf started.
I am a ooh. Oh shit. I was like, I'm living for this delivery right now. With just a half nod, 2 of the golems switched into an alert stance. The third got closer to Talid. Oh fuck. I mean, here's the thing though. Adder may be the protagonist, but we're skin and bones, and from what I remember about golems, they're fucking solid. They lowered their body painfully slowly, causing their knee joints to emit a high-pitched hiss that made Adder flinch. Next he knew, they were dashing at an impossible speed towards him. Thinking fast, but not straight, Adder grabbed the kettle and hurled it towards the closest golem. Well, that's a good move. The brass projectile bounced away miserably, okay, and the scalding liquid did nothing to deter the machine. No, I was hoping the weight, but okay. Adder kicked the table up in time to watch a fist go clean through the glass. Undeterred, he gripped the metal frame harder and swung it towards the second golem, hoping to catch both of their hands in one swoop. He found himself lifted off the ground instead, paddling in the air for his life. Oh no! Moving with unnatural coordination, the golems spun their whole arms in a wide arc that sent both Adder and the table flying against the wall. He heaved as the metal frame and the heavy rock crystal table's top slammed against his body, though thankfully it didn't shatter. In a battle of strength, he was clearly heavily outmatched, 100% yes. He has no muscle. I mean, like, he has no fat or muscle on him at all. He is other than his, like, weirdly gigantic hands, he's like a stick. The golems hurtled towards him once more, but Adder had something they didn't have. A ridiculously nimble body. Adder flicked the frame as one of the golems lifted the table, distracting them with a tinkling sound, just long enough to roll under their legs and leap towards the door. Yeah, run for your fucking life. He tugged on the handle with all its strength, only to remember that it was locked. Adder, oh no.
Are you looking for the key?
Fuck. Man, these shots are awesome. Adder turned his face toward Talid. Oh, fuck! A white blur struck right where his snout had been just a moment earlier. He saw the arm pass by his face in slow motion, dodged by fractions of an inch, only to land instead inside the mahogany door. Oh, mahogany. The golem rattled its arm, trying to dislodge it from the wood. That's how you get them, Adder. You gotta fucking just dodge. Just dodge and have them destroy the room, and then you can run. It finally resolved to swivel its torso around like a spinning top, ripping out a sizable chunk of wood that stuck to him like a shield.
Careful, Adder. That could have been your skull just now.
Fuck, Ryan, these fucking reeds, hello. The hole it left behind was bedecked with splinters, a few bristles of yellow fur, ooh, and half of the bolted lock. A wild idea started to take form inside of Adder's mind.
No way! My skull's way thicker than anything
these
guys could ever break.
If there's one thing we know, it's that Adder has a ridiculously thick skull.
We'll have to see about that.
Adder ducked a surprise right hook from the second golem, only to find himself suddenly splayed against the wall by a shield charge from the first one. Jesus fuck. His face was left completely exposed to the potentially lethal jab, leaving him with less than a precious second to tilt his neck 60 impressive degrees to the right, leaving the golem trapped against the wall. No, don't punch. That's not gonna... What is that gonna do? You're gonna break your fucking knuckles. Down from the ground, emboldened by his successful strategy, Adder spun jump and sent a powerful left upper hook towards the golem's mask and fucking broke his hand. Yeah! What did I say? I mean, yeah, I know this, but also, even if I didn't know this, like... What did you think would happen, Adder? They're made out of, like, marble. His fist stopped flat against the marble. A narrow crack sprouted up against the artificial face. I mean, I guess he cracked it. Jeez. Adder was rewarded with a broken knuckle for his efforts. The poor boy screamed as he gripped his left hand, cursing and stamping his foot down while the golem futilely tried to remove his hand from the hole it punched on the brick and concrete wall. The shielded golem crept up on him from his blind side, punching him right in the pit of his stomach. Ooh. Ow. Adder's body sank down against the wall. 2 more terrifying blows succeeded the first one. And just like that, they stopped, giving him just enough space to fruitlessly attempt to limp away. Oh. This ain't nothing. Adder lied to himself as he spat some blood over the carpet. The golem that just landed a hit was approaching him. Another remained next to Talid. The last one continued to struggle to release his arm from the wall. Yeah, that one doesn't seem like it's doing so hot. Wait, weren't there 4 of them, though? Wait. I think I lost track of one somewhere. Adder hadn't taken 10 steps when one of the golems grabbed him by the back of the neck, showcasing its quarry for Talid to admire.
Sate my curiosity, Adder. How did you plan for this to end?
That's bold of you to assume that Adder planned anything. Though the boy wasn't particularly predisposed to reply, focused as he was on keeping down the pastries he'd just eaten. Oh man, it would be hilarious if he just vomited in Talid's face. The answer most definitely didn't include a fractured rib or two. He tried to throw a rather miserable punch in the moneylender's direction, only for it to get dodged with supreme ease. Boy didn't even open his eyes.
You surely didn't think someone like you could emerge victorious. You didn't presume you could merely elope with my sister and get yourself named a knight for your efforts?
Well, I mean, maybe I did. Something tinkled inside Adder's sash when he swayed at the golem's mercy.
You are a shrub, a mere beggar. You will never be good enough for Sep, or Aina, or that pathetic leech Geoff.
Something tells me that maybe these brothers don't love each other all that much. Also, what the fuck do you know about Aina? Excuse you. Also, Adder is fucked up. Look at him. Adder reached for his purse.
So how dare you fancy yourself too good for me?
Whoa. Adder extended a weary, open fist full of tinkling. Oh, he keeps rivets in his purse, not money. I forgot.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Taylor. Would you accept this as payment for all the trouble I caused?
Put it in the eye, please. Taylor crossed his eyes down just inside to see 2 metal rivets sticking out of Adder's fist. Oh, and his nostrils to get shoved right in his ooh, ow, ooh, ow, 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 ow. The golems jittered as Taylor screamed and cursed, clutching his snout. With a well-placed kick to the golem's torso, Adder propelled himself out and away from the automaton's grasp. Still wielding a rivet in each hand, Adder ran back towards the wrecked door and started punching away at the wood, trying to carve a hole that would let him reach the latch.
Adder sinned!
The golem started stirring behind him. Just headbutt it. With a force pulled right out of memories, his muscles I'm getting so into the moment that I'm fumbling. With the force pulled right out of the memories of muscles he no longer had, Adder threw his good arm back and tore the door from his hinges. He spun in place and bashed it against the first of the pursuing golems, splintering all over its head and slammed it to the ground. Adder lurched out of the room, holding his side in place the best he could, while the second golem futilely tried to leave the room with the chunk of wood still stuck to its hand.
I really don't know why you insist on having him send all that wine. It's not even good. There are much better drinks out there if you just want to batter your liver.
I like wine. Far removed from all the commotion, Miss Rochelle ambled through the corridors of the first floor, a few steps ahead of the golem that held Sep prisoner, and that's where the other golem went, and I just fucking... I know how to math.
You don't even care, do you? You just want it because you can get your hands on it. Whether you like it or not is besides the point.
Sep had stopped struggling a while ago. She merely sagged in the golem's arms, her sight firmly set away from Rochelle. I can't read anymore. This was somehow a greater offense to the older woman.
What is it? What are you thinking in that magic brain box of yours? You think that I'm part of this? You think that I wanted any of this to happen? That I somehow plotted the death of that poor hick? I gave you the choice to go through with your stupid elopement and let me forget all about you. But no, you came back with your tail between your legs to drag us all down with you, as you always do.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, it's now up to me to fix everything as usual. To say, yes, Mr. Talid, no, Mr. Talid, so he won't lift a finger against us for letting things get this far. Like we had a say in all your whims.
See, man, I don't like Talid.
I used to think you'd thank me when you were older, but the years keep coming and you never seem old enough. I really thought I raised you smarter than this, Sep.
Okay. Their stroll finally came to an end once they reached Sep's door. Slowly, methodically even, Rochelle counted each and every key in her keyring, pretending that she didn't know the shape of this lock by heart.
It's not fair if you can't even defend yourself, is it?
The golem bore its empty gaze into Rochelle as she tugged its sleeve away from Sep's mouth.
Erase me?
Oh, shit.
Erase me? How warped can you get inside your own lies? You want a medal for doing the bare minimum to drag my weight through the mud just because you loved my mother? This is all your fault. Can't you see?
Ah, so it's my fault for trying to keep you alive. That's nice.
I mean, that is the bare minimum, isn't it? With a light pat on its back, the golem started marching again into Sep's room. Rochelle pulled her key up again.
All you've ever wanted was to bleed me dry. You never trusted me with my own decisions. You never even cared once about what I needed.
I want to see you well, and I want to see you flourish, and I want to keep you from throwing your life away at every turn.
Oof.
You're the one who keeps forcing me to be the villain in your story. What part of that is so hard to understand?
Holy shit, though, the emotion that went into that read. I mean, I understand that this might be genuinely Rochelle's point of view, but also Sep is right.
How do you manage to make everything about you? If you really care, stop playing the victim for 1 minute and just listen to me, okay? You never had to do any of it. I didn't ask you to. So you've tried to keep me well? Well, you failed. I'm a mess. You're the whole reason I keep trying to throw my life away. Because guess what? I never wanted any of this.
Neither did I!
Damn. Oh shit, here we go. Not very far from the argument now, Adder leap steps in two, running upstairs using rivets as climbing aids in a desperate bid for his life. Just a hair's width behind them, more than well acquainted with the tip of his tail near already, two golems chased him relentlessly.
Why are you doing this? You don't gotta listen to him. We're all in danger.
Adder, they're automatons.
Negotiating with machines, are we? Save your breath. They cannot hear you, and they do not need a why either. They will kill you because I ordered them to. No mercy, no emotions.
Yep. Still halfway along the stairs, seemingly recomposed despite the nosebleed on full display, Talid casually strolled up. Well, I respect the vibes, though. Knows how to compose yourself. Adder flung a flower vase downstairs, trying to buy some time as he scanned the first floor in search of a strategy.
They'll only come for me?
That is correct. A golem is so advanced that they will not harm any other living...
Not 1 second after Talid finished saying other, Adder started knocking on the first door he saw. He kept banging on every door he staggered past, on the walls and on the woodwork and over the windows, yelling all the while.
There's monsters in the desert rose! Run!
A group of very confused performers and servants started trickling into the corridors. At the sight of the rampaging golems and the blood on Talid's face, the tide grew and roared with terrified screams, surging towards the nearest exits. The automatons swiveled their torsos in short, brisk bursts, trying to find their target amongst the skittering denizens of the palace. To no avail. Oh my god, Addersend! With the more than one brain cell play, let's go! Adder, in spite of his worrying state, had somehow managed to seemingly vanish.
Is this your master plan, Addersend? Playing hide and seek until the beasts arrive?
Never one to fear getting his hands dirty, Talid sidled calmly past the throng, glancing over each door that lay ajar in its wake. Nothing. No trace of Addersend.
Are you truly going to waste my time so brazenly?
Oh, honey. I can't even hate. Increasingly desperate, Talid started looking over the rafters, inside the vases. Any shape a lanky yellow stag could somehow contorted to slip past him. He leaned over the railing to look over the patio, hoping to find Adder hiding behind the colonnade, over the roof, anywhere.
Come out and face me, you cowardly horn eater! Who you calling a coward?
God damn it, Adder. You had a big brain play and you ruined it. It was during one of these brief instants where Taylor's attention lay so easily misplaced that Adder suddenly cast himself up from the ledge beneath the moneylender.
You're the one who's hiding behind 2 golems, you hypochondriac.
That's not what... Okay. The weak stag used what little strength remained in him to hurl his whole body upwards as he swung his head forward, managing to bash the pitiful stumps on his head against Taylor's bare forehead. The moneylender stumbled back, dazed by the second blow. But Adder wasn't nearly done yet. Taylor didn't even get a second to scream in pain this time. With the giant hand firmly wrapped around his neck, Taylor suddenly found himself weightless, floating in the air, right over the thin railing, stopping the escaping crowds from falling over the patio. Feeling the call of their master, the golems rushed towards them, but there was very little they could do in such a difficult situation. I killed Mufasa. That's what I'm thinking about right now, just holding him over the cliff. Very little that wouldn't end with Adder dropping their master 3 stories down and therefore breaking their orders, that is.
Call him off, Mr. Taylor. We ain't got time for this.
You're allowed, Addersind.
Ooh.
You may think yourself bold after fooling my sister into thinking your life has any worth, but let me assure you once more, there is no outcome where you win. Even if you were to kill me, my golems would still carry out my last command. You'd be dead before I reached the ground.
You know what?
Assuming you could ever have it in you to see through this pitiful intimidation attempt.
Damn. You know what? For all the hate, I gotta give Taylor the respect. Just fucking savage.
Keep assuming, man. I've seen more people die than you could have ever killed.
What an odd choice of phrasing for a threat. Do you know what those words tell me? They tell me you have never killed. You may have caused deaths, perhaps, but you're still so afraid of combination that you think they make us the same.
Oh, shit.
There's a world of difference between killing and letting people die.
I mean, yeah.
Tell that to Lord Dumar when you see him!
Oh, shit! Adder needn't do much more than swing his arm, and suddenly Taylor's body was launched up beyond the railing, away from any salvation. There was no reaction on the golem's part, no time to think. The moneylender's mouth hung open in disbelief as he felt his weight flying up towards the clouds for a brief instant, before suddenly precipitating down, reclaimed by Dakna. A life lived in fractions of a second. Memories of so many decisions. Not even the Taylor could remain so cold as to make space for revenge inside his mind as he fell. His descent came to an abrupt end, but not his life. Taylor's neck whipped forward violently as he was suddenly jerked up by the collar of his tunic. A single piece of fabric stood between the red deer and certain death. A stag leaning over the railing to stop his fate. Oh, so he caught him as he was coming down. Oh, Adder. I knew you... Without another word, Adder hauled Taylor back over the railings and tossed him on the ground. Taylor could only stare at him awestruck, confused. It soon morphed into something more familiar. Superiority, god damn it.
You didn't have it in you.
No, I 1000% do. I got it in me, all right. I know I do. Oh, one look at you and I just know I do. The world would be so much better without a weak, hoarding scum like you taking advantage of everyone else. When I think of that, I could drop you 1,000 times over. I could choke the life out of you right now.
This side of Adderson, oh my goodness. Oh, it's for Sep, isn't it?
But you're Sep's brother, and she loves you.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know she's She's for real convinced she's gotta be like you too if she's gonna get anywhere in this life. Y'all could be right. Oh, you've definitely been way better at me at this whole surviving thing. But I still think it's wrong.
Man.
I know it's selfish, but I don't know how I'd look her in the face ever again if I gave you a taste of your own medicine. I don't want it to hurt more than I already done. So maybe you're right. Maybe I don't got it in me to be like you. Not yet, I don't.
Oh no, Adder, he's gonna fucking kill you for that.
Is that so? That's very stupid of you. Kill him.
I was like, I hope I'm not remembering this right, but yeah. There were no magnificent movements, no great strategies, no tricks. One of the golems simply tackled Adder, splintering the railing like mere toothpicks. Adder and the machine plummeted down onto the patio several stories below. Yeah, but what you don't know is that Adder has the thickest skull in all of Dakna. God damn it, Talid. God damn it. You know what? If you were like a better person, you could have seen that as a moment of being like, wow, this big dumb idiot really does care about my sister, like, a lot. But no, it's just like, wow, what a dumbass. He gave me the advantage and now I'm gonna take it. Ah, fuck, Talid! Sep ran out of breath for a moment, an unnatural chill crawling up her spine. Her ears shot up. Something was wrong. But this ominous premonition had nothing on the sight of Rochelle furiously slamming the door to Sep's room open and shoving the golem out.
You want me to treat you like an adult? Fine. Let's all quit pretending then.
Oh shit, Maxie, hi! Oh man, this has been a ride. I did not remember a lot of things that I thought I did. At least for a lot of the scenes in between the beginning and the end.
I may not know what strange magic you cast upon my wife, but I know sure as I'm standing right in front of you that you ain't no Yasif, no queen, no princess, no nothing, honey buns. You're just some ungrateful cursed brat that I can't seem to get rid of. Still, you want to be called a different title every single day? Just say the word, sugar. I'll call you
wow.
and everything you want. 'Cause know what, your grace? You ain't never even had a name to begin with.
Just the total drop in her fucking way of speaking. Damn. Rochelle is like a master at being fucking composed. Wow.
So what? Mom found me in a palace in Basaksarat. She said it didn't matter who I was. I would become Jasif.
Oh, yes. She found you in a fortress, I bet. But it was in the kitchen of some third-class castle, wherever in the northeast, if memory still serves. That makes you what? The Mary Queen of an inn in Tosal, maybe? Calcant, if you're so desperate to get some sun.
I love that she's got more of that, like, country accent. Like, where the fuck is Adder from, again? It starts with a T, and I can't pronounce it. But yeah, she's got that, that like, peasant accent. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
Those humble roots.
Honey, your mother told me all about the day she rescued you from some poor maid who was just overwhelmed minding her other children. Yup. She just had to become obsessed with this one runt. The most special indeed.
Oh, shit.
That's a lie. You're lying.
You want to blame someone for all this? Blame Thaw for losing her mind. Blame me for caring at all. But it's about time you got this into your head, you home-wrecking perisher. If it wasn't for you, she'd still be alive.
Jesus Christ, Ral.
No.
You know all the well I do that a guy wasn't here the night she died.
No. No, that's not...
What did you do?
Jesus.
I didn't... It wasn't...
What did you do?
Fuck! Mm-hmm. Also, by the way, Maxie, you're gonna get a bill from my therapist that I don't currently have, but I'm gonna get one, and you're gonna get that bill. I can't deal with Adder and all these feelings. I can't deal with him being all serious and having feelings. I can't. I hurt my feelings. I almost cried. I'm very emotional today. Adder was certainly a resistant boy. His skull seemed to be made of the strongest cement. You know, that's what I said. His bones were steel beams. but even the sturdiest house crumbles to pieces when slammed against the ground with the force of a stampede. Everybody hurts sometime. Adder blinked once and again, trying to see past the dark haze in his vision and the weight in his chest. He could see a caricature, a face of sorts. The boy had never dared to look at a golem up close, much less so in the light of day. He was afraid of what he might find, of testing his convictions. But now there it was, right in front of him, about to kill him. He was all out of excuses, and he could see it crystal clear. The golem's eyes were all wrong. There was nothing inside it. In the same way that one can tell apart the warmth of a heated metal and the warmth of a body, Adder could see that these creatures that looked and felt so much like Aina had nothing to do with her. That's what I'm saying. He reached out and wrapped his less broken hand around the golem's mask, still cracked from the punch that had wrecked his other hand. Adder didn't hesitate this time. The mask crumbled into pieces inside his fist. Only metal and clothes remained.
I knew she wasn't, no.
I knew it too. Dark again. He heard something metallic falling nearby. 2 sets of steps. Then silence. Adder gasped in pain as Talid's dagger drew a thin trail of blood where it rested on his neck. Oh shit, the neck is not a great place to be stabbed.
You put up quite a fight. But it's over, Adder.
Talid lifted the dagger in the air, ready to bear it down full force on Adder's chest. Adder followed the movement of the dagger as it rose through a half-shut eye, until a little flame sprouted in a corner of his sight instead. Talid's dagger pierced skin and bone, and it would have punctured Adder's very heart if a sudden blast of scalding air hadn't pushed Talid off of him.
What?
Fire. Fire coming out of the other side of the palace, towards the sky, all over the roof. I mean, listen, I have some sympathy and understanding of Rochelle's motivation, but I hope that bitch is burning right now. Fire coming from one room.
Stop! No!
Yo. Give Ryan his flowers. His performance. Talid ran into the direction of the fire, muttering desperate things under his breath. Adder just laid on the ground, bleeding with his eye closed. He heard one set of steps move towards him, then another, and one at last. As he felt the golem's weight climbing on top of him once more, he couldn't help but think that it was almost funny, really. His second time getting stabbed wasn't quite so bad as the first, but he couldn't seem to find the strength to get up and run this time around.
Is this how you die after all, Bones?
Oh, hi, Eka. Oh, hi, Aina. Oh my god, it's really scary when she makes that face like that in the background like that. Oh no. Struggling to keep his eye open, Adder looked up. He saw the point of his knife, the golem's arm, and the silhouette of another hand stretched over him.
That's so sad. I thought I'd get to kill you myself.
His eye rolled back toward the patio, finding instead the royal pathway hovering over him. He heard a young guard screaming, and the Gisif losing her will to escape.
It sucks, doesn't it? And it's only going to get worse from here.
He felt the ground falling under him, bereft of the power he had when he jumped down with Sepp in his arms. Oh, that was a cute moment, I remember that. He ran through a wall, and he climbed up a window, and he made his way into someone else's mind. He did so many things he could have never done on his own, because someone else was there watching him.
If you're not going to fight, I'll order Aina to let that thing put you out of your misery now.
And he wondered if that was magic too. If she had been looking after him before he even knew. If she had just wished him well, while he couldn't do anything for her. If he was just glad to feel useful again.
Get up.
He tried to breathe. He tried to follow the lessons she had so insistently taught him, though he knew why they never worked, why he could never look inward.
No, not like this. Get up.
Memory after memory started filling his mind. Memories he had so gladly given away.
That's it. Fight.
He saw his home and the cart taking him so far away. The last time he would ever see his mother and his father and his siblings. How many siblings does Adder have, I wonder? Oh no, this is hurting my feelings again. I don't want...
We need you here a little longer.
He saw his boss, and the fort, and the captains new and old. He remembered the last time he slept with two eyes. The last time he let himself rest and give up.
Get
The last time he failed everyone.
up!
He wouldn't fail again.
Good talk. I'll catch you later, pup.
Bye, boss. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Such an ending, man. And it's just like, we don't even know who's alive. Listen, okay, but there's one chapter left, plus an epilogue. So it's not like it'll be drawn out George R. R. Martin style. Oh, look, I just like hurting people. I'm sorry. Yeah, my feelings are hurt. My feelings are hurt for specifically with Adder. Just the way that he just refuses to, like... I was like, we don't know that much about Adder before he came to the city. And now that we're starting to get more into, like, what Adder is really thinking and feeling and the stuff that he keeps hidden and repressed deep down, and I'm just like, did we really? No, you know what? Now that I'm asking, I don't want... no, this hurts. Go back to being a cute himbo. I can't. You can't have serious thoughts and feelings. That's not allowed. That's illegal. But yeah, man, what a fucking cliffhanger. I've made several people cry with him. Yeah, I know. I was like so emotional. Cause like I know some things, you know, like. So like there's some things I was like, yeah, I understand what's going on here. But with Adder, it's like there's so much that I didn't expect to know, and like I never heard anybody else's performances until now. And wow. Hang on a second. Actually, before I get into the like ending the streams and stuff, let me pull up the fucking menu so I can pull up the credits. Because wow, guys. Like, I don't know if this is, like, tacky or whatever, since I'm technically in the cast, too. But shut up. Y'all killed it. Just stop. Okay, listen. Stan? Help. My feelings. And Ryan. Wow, Talon. I was, like, getting goosebumps. It's just how cold it was. And, like, I want... Oh, and Maxie, the... stuff with Aina, I was just like, more, please. I don't think I got... Oh, you don't have Burbith's new actor up on there. Because, like, I did like Burbith's original actor, but I know that Burbith has been recast. Alexander Hanley is the new Burbith. Okay. But yeah, man. Oh, and Cassie. Oh, Cassie. The stuff, the shit that you bring, because Rochelle is such a antagonistic character. Like, Rochelle fucking sucks 90% of the time. But it's like with any good villain, they come from a place of having their own motivations and reasons, and they are doing their own justice, and they're doing their own, like, to them, their motivations are just and right and good. They have their own reasons. And I feel like to Rochelle, even though deep down, it was like, I'm only looking after you out of obligation for the, you know, like the feelings I had for Thar. It's like, she was lying to herself for a while about caring about Sep, you know, because of that connection to Thar. And it really, really, really came through with Cassie's performance. Like, it'd be so easy to make Rochelle one-dimensional, you know, like this backhanded, sarcastic, snarky, cold character. And like, Cassie just brought it. Of like, yes, she's cold, but it's very clear that this is a mask that Rochelle puts on. And there's much more, and the way she switched from being so precise in her speech, very articulate, and then like the moment they were alone, she like switched immediately to speaking very like casually and had the accent. Oh my god, it was so good. I had goosebumps. And then I always have to give out shout outs to Tom, even though Tom's only in like chapter 1, but I don't care because Tom Shulk is like one of my best buds in the voice acting realm. I fucking love Tom. He's so good. Tom is the best. But yeah, man, I wasn't expecting to get so emotional about Adder in this chapter, and Stan fucking, you broke my heart, and how dare you? Yeah, everybody was so good. Everybody was great. Illigrab fucking had me rolling in this chapter. I was losing my mind. And Anjali, fucking Zhao was so cute. I know, I'm going over everyone now, which is like whatever. But like, you know, people should be proud. Because like, the performances in this, outstanding. Like the whole game, but this chapter particularly was intense and very, very dense. You were a big fan of Cassie since you were a kid? As in literally 13? What? Cassie's been active for that long? Has Cassie been active for as long as I've been active? That's wild. It's the one time I handpicked in the last few years because I needed it to be her. Because I've been doing voiceover since 2008. Which is a long fucking time. I was about to be like, which is a long time to not have like representation or anything. But like, I've had long periods of inactivity also. But my point is that I know a lot of people who have been around, usually people who've been around since as long as I have, and are still active today, are known enough where like I recognize them, you know? Like Amelie, you know, or fucking who else? Help. Super famous. My brain just fucking blanked out. Christina V? Yes. People that I've like, oh yeah, I remember them from back in the day when we were doing fandubs and shit. And like, now they're still doing shit. They're still out there doing shit. But I did not know Cassie's been around for that long. Check out her songs as Sapphire. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna look into that later. Because, man, she was great. Everybody was great. And I loved... Wait. Who are the new ones? Tokme and Darban? Awesome. that fucking exchange killed me. I was rolling. Oh, man. Oh, and Pavle! That's right. Pavle was, well, they're relatively, like, new to me, but, like, I've seen them around before this chapter. So I was like, oh, hype. Someone was cast that I know, and they're awesome. But anyways, yes, the point, yeah, I'm super hype. I hope that I haven't said more than I should have. I don't think I have. I think I've kept a pretty good check on myself. But I'm very excited for the things that are going to happen in the next chapter, which I'm not going to say exactly when it's happening, but I think, Maxie, you've said before that you're, like, working in a time frame in the next couple of, like, next year or couple of years. So we don't have to wait too long for a conclusion, per se. And I'm hype, and I'm going to play it as soon as it comes out. Things that happen, Eka is very sexy. I am very in love with Eka. I'm biased, but I'm also like, man, Eka is so cool. Eka and Illigrab. Illigrab fucking gets it. Like, the whole time. Illigrab is just like, yeah, no, people fucking abusing their power and shit. Whatever. And the way he laughed about the beasts, and I was just like, you fucking, you know. I love Illigrab so much. I think he might be one of my favorite characters. Just because we vibe. If I had any position of power in this universe, I would be the same as Illigrab. Anyways, I'm gushing. I have to go to bed. It's like almost an hour past when I usually go offline, but I knew I was close to the end, so I didn't want to end the stream and then come back and do like a 20-minute stream of this. I wanted to tie it up. Because I knew the last scene was in the Desert Rose. That was what I remembered. So, the point is that I'm way past my bedtime. I gotta go. But I cannot wait for the next part. And I'm gonna replay this probably off stream because there's some scenes that I don't think I got. I think, if I'm remembering right, there are multiple scenes you can get. Especially with the Aina. So, like, I would like to see all of those. I got a certain scene, and I think I can get different ones, and I want to try for that. And if you would like to try for that for yourself, you should get the Hayseed Night. It's on Steam. You can get it right now. And if you buy it right now, when the next chapter and the epilogue come out, you just get it for free. It'll just update. Do it. It's great. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I will be back on Thursday with Jeremy. We're gonna play more Like a Dragon. And then, fucking, I don't know what else. I think I had some other shit planned, but I'm not gonna say right now just because I don't want to commit to anything. I don't want to commit to too much because I'm just coming back from a really low point in my physical and mental health. And I don't want to push myself too far. So, Thursdays for sure. Be back Thursday with Yakuza. And we'll go from there. Take care. Make good choices. Drink water. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And just, you know, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys next time. Okay, I love you. Bye!